Hello, Screen Pups, and welcome to part 1 of our Halloween episode. That is how much I love Halloween, is that we are doing 2 whole episodes dedicated to it. Man, do I love Halloween, and I love this episode. This might be my favorite, if not my second favorite episode that we've done. It's one of my favorite episodes because not only were we all just focused and on target and hilarious, if I might say so, but we never had a lack of anything to talk about. We kept moving from one issue to the next, and you know it's a good episode when, after you're done recording, you instantly start going, oh, I should have talked about this, I should have talked about that, because there was no time. You just filled it all up with so many other important things. I didn't even get to talk about, like, say, The Twilight Zone, or any of these other great little bits of horror and Halloween-based TV shows and movies. That's fine, we have plenty of future episodes coming up. I will find another episode to talk about X, the man with X-ray eyes. Actual movie, look it up. But this is also another one of my favorite episodes, because we have a great cast assembled for this episode. You know, we've got a lot of the regular cast on this episode. We've got Michelle, we've got Kevin, we've got Jackson, and we have Mike coming back for the first time since the Dark Knight Rises episode. But we also have a very special guest, making her first appearance on the show, and I can guarantee you not her last, because she was so good. And it's a guest you guys have wanted me to have on for a while. I've wanted to have on for a while. Trust me, it's a really great guest. And she's only here for the second segment, but I will timestamp, like always, the episode below. You can just skip ahead if you want to find out who it is. But before that, you know me, I never like to go right into the episode. I always like to kill a little time by just letting you guys know what's going on with the show. First off, something I should point out about this episode. We recorded this episode out of order. We started with segment 2, went on to segment 3, and then after that, recorded the opening segment because of scheduling conflicts. And normally, I wouldn't tell you guys that we did that, except that somebody couldn't keep their mouth shut and spilled the beans like 2 minutes into the episode. But that's fine. You know what? It's still a really good episode. It's just that we're going to all sound very, very tired in the beginning and then become incredibly focused in the second half. So, enjoy that. And also, Mike recently asked me about what the progress was with getting this on iTunes. I've been searching for a while to find some place where I could host these podcasts, but most of them charge a fairly large amount of cash, or they require you to interrupt your show with ads constantly, which I wouldn't mind interrupting the show with ads, except I would not be the one getting paid for it. But I finally found one place that looks like it can hold our episodes for only $5 a week. So if that works out, it should be on iTunes pretty soon. Alright, but in the meantime, I want you guys to enjoy this week's episode, all dedicated to Halloween, and just go out and enjoy Halloween. You know what? Go out there, get yourself a costume. You're never too old for Halloween. What, you think you're too good for Halloween? Because I got news for you, nobody is too good for Halloween. Halloween is the end-all, be-all of holidays. What, you're going to say Thanksgiving is? Thanksgiving's got nothing on Halloween. I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore. Anyway, enjoy the episode.
I'm gonna just a heads up. I'm gonna interrupt you. Just
right
so you
now,
don't
or...
get no. Just
I'm gonna interrupt you. Not right now. Sometime in the future.
That's
in 7 days.
Right there.
In 7 days.
You're not gonna see it coming.
In 7 days, you'll interrupt me.
The art of suspension, the perfect horror movie.
Oh.
He's gonna call you a year from now.
Hi there, welcome to another episode.
Guys, Coulson's alive.
Oh, nicely done. Oh, welcome to the Pupcast. I am Aaron, and I'm getting over something, I don't know, but if I sound hoarse, that's the reason why. And join me to my left.
Michelle,
you're on my left.
I sure if you were like trying to pretend like everyone was in the room, like they do in like on certain podcasts or something. I'm sorry.
On those podcasts, they actually are in the room. They go, join me.
Shut up.
Hundreds
Join
of
me
miles
on my
away.
screen is Jackson
Hello.
and Kevin.
I'm pretty sure everyone's realized we're recording this last because we're all breaking apart.
No,
We held this together so well.
They haven't realised that because this is the first thing they're hearing.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's the last thing we've recorded.
Oh, you've ruined the illusion.
All right, fine.
The illusion is gone.
The illusion's gone. Yes, we recorded part 2 first, then part 3, and then we Tarantino this bitch. So we're back to the beginning,
that's a
and we're
verb
all
now.
exhausted. Yes. All right, and also here's Mike coming back for his second time on the show.
In
Yay!
the house.
Part 4
Yeah.
is lost. We will never see it again.
Oh,
What?
God,
Part
I don't
4?
like seeing Lost.
Part 4.
Part
Podcast.
4.
It's gone.
Yeah.
We erased it.
We remember part 4. That was an amazing episode.
Oh,
Remember all the
God.
jokes? They were so funny.
Oh, everybody knows you're lying at that point.
We got sidetracked so much.
Oh, okay, Snuffleupagus. Alright. Today is part 1 of our Halloween episodes. We are going to do 2 episodes because I love the season so much. And next week we're going to return and talk about our favorite movie monsters. But this
Guys.
episode is dedicated to... Yes?
It's episode 13.
Oh, shit!
Hey!
But it's not Friday.
No. But it is
Well,
episode
maybe
13.
it'll be up by Friday.
It might be up by Friday, I don't know.
Well, by a Friday. We don't. It might not be this Friday.
Hey,
but-
Friday.
Th-
In
There's
December.
still 2 other episodes to release first. Maybe it'll be up on Halloween. Who
Yes,
knows?
maybe. Our part 2, our favorite movie monster episode will come up on Election Day.
It'll be on Christmas Day.
Binder of monsters, guys. But by the time this is released, that won't be topical at all.
I don't know. The internet will surprise you sometimes and how it keeps a meme alive.
Yeah, but it's not topical.
Oh no, it's not topical, but yeah. Seriously though,
Let's
how's
all
that
start
debate?
singing Gangnam Style to prove how relevant we are.
I
Fuck
don't
you
care.
For that. Fuck
Yes.
you for that. I got back from Comic-Con where I had to work security this weekend, and the booth next to us, it was like Gin Cross or some company was selling their crappy comic books, and they had a giant stage up where they kept inviting people up to dance to Gangnam Style or whatever it is. And I mean, that was blazing all throughout it, and I couldn't leave and had to listen to that thing for like 5 hours a day.
So I
poor
like that
bastard.
song. I still like that song.
I liked it up until that moment.
point. Yeah.
I like that song, and like originally I was going, "Hey, Gangnam Style, all right, I like this song." And then
Hour
seriously,
3.
yeah, hour 3 of day 1, and there were 3 more days after that. God damn it! Oh,
What would you rather have? Gangnam Style or Call Me Maybe?
Call me maybe.
go me,
No,
baby.
no, because
Yes.
the thing with Gangnam Style is because you don't understand the words, it's so much better. The words of Call Me Maybe are terrible and really get on your nerves, but you don't have that problem with Gangnam Style. It fixes pop music.
Yes, all pop music should be foreign.
I'd get behind that.
That's how I do kind of treat pop music. Is that I just treat the words as another musical instrument, and I don't pay attention to what they're saying at all. I just pay attention to the beats that
Yeah.
go along with it.
But when they're so terrible, like in Call Me Maybe, I'm just like,
Oh, and Call Me Maybe, they are terrible lyrics when you actually stop and pay attention to them. Yes.
It's even the title. Call Me Maybe.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be Maybe Call Me?
maybe.
No.
Or
I don't know.
perhaps you
Grammar.
should call me if you do not mind.
Telecommunication me. I request it thus.
Call me? Who calls people anymore? Text me maybe.
Telegram Me Maybe.
Tweet me.
Telegram.
Telegram me,
Passenger
maybe.
pigeon me.
Stop.
Skype me, maybe.
Hogwarts Owl Maybe. I don't know.
Pony
Smokes-
Express maybe?
Smoke signal me, maybe.
That'd be a long song to get through. I love that part of the song where it goes. Oh, jeez.
Telepathy Call Me Maybe. I don't know.
I don't even know. I've yet to say what this episode's topic is. I just kept saying what next week's topic is.
Is it iMessage me maybe?
Mime me, maybe.
MySpace me? Friendster me maybe?
Pantomime me, maybe.
Pantomime doesn't even make sense.
No,
Treasure
no.
Planet me maybe?
Sign language me, maybe.
Stumble upon
Okay,
me,
that-
maybe.
Kidnap me, maybe?
See, the more we
We
say...
almost got through this episode without having some new weird running joke on the show.
The more we say it, the funnier this joke
Now I have a
becomes.
new idea for a title card.
Okay. Alright. This week's episode...
Email me maybe.
God damn it. This week's episode is going to be about me going insane. Halfway there. This
Like
week's
I said
episode is actually-
before, we're recording this last. We're all broken.
Yeah, so
Everyone's
basically...
gonna be so confused when we put this all together.
No, okay, I
don't
got
care.
this, guys. So
They're gonna
news.
listen to part 2 and they're gonna say, "Oh, they all sound so normal."
They sounded so professional when they had... Morse code me, maybe. When they had guests on. I don't know what they were doing. It must have taken a while to get settled into it.
We have a second guest. We have a special guest on the second part of the show, and they must have listened to this and went, "Oh, they are so mature, and they really can't get their stuff together." And then as soon as the episode's going to go up, they're going to be like, "I'm going to listen to what the rest of this was," and it's just madness, pure utter madness. Someone is texting me, and I'm guessing it's Jackson with the joke, probably.
So text me,
Maybe.
The Enigma code me later.
Why did you say later? The Enigma code me later. That's not even maybe.
I don't know.
Really, you've misunderstood the whole joke. It's just not funny anymore.
I'm broken.
I can agree with that. God damn it. Alright.
As I was saying,
This week's
Wholesome.
episode, we have two topics going on. During the second part of the show, we're going to talk about what our favorite Halloween film and films are, and TV shows are. And then in our third part, we're going to just talk about what our favorite horror films are. But, before we get into that, how's everybody doing out there?
I don't know. If you don't- I know, I'm doing good. I was going to do a hilarious joke there, but I stopped myself because I have restraint.
Oh, please.
No, weird. I'm doing good. I watched The Mentalist today. I love The Mentalist.
Oh, okay. I was waiting to see what the judgment on that was. I've actually heard it's fairly decent.
Oh, fuck, man. I love police procedurals because I'm boring. But the both Castle and The Mentalist, which I'll never choose between because it's whichever one I just watch, are so good. The Mentalist is slightly better, but also slightly worse because it's a bit darker. But because it's a network show, it just pulls back at some. But the way it ended season 3 is one of the best one of the best last 10 minutes of television ever made. It's that good.
What about Psych?
What about fuck Psych?
What? What is wrong
That
with
became one
you?
of my favorite running gags on the show after The Mentalist came on. It's just that they kept pointing out how The Mentalist was a total ripoff of them, just that they were trying to be serious.
Yeah, and it works so much better. Fuck Psych.
Fine. Whatever.
Whatever. All right. I like Psych. I like Psych.
I don't dislike Psych. I'm just more being standoffish for fun.
I understand.
Fair enough.
What's everybody else seen? Anybody else seen a movie out there they want to talk about?
Oh God.
No.
So I take it
Yeah.
they're all movies that you didn't like.
No, no. I know what Kevin's seen, and remember when you watched Transformers 3 for Bad Movie Night?
Yeah.
Oh.
He will blow that choice out of the water.
What did you watch?
I watched Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh my god. Oh wow.
Oh, shit.
Was it
Oh,
as
that's
good
bad.
as the Dragon Ball Evolution Quick Look on Giant Bomb?
You know what? If you watch that quick look and then watch the movie, that quick look makes a lot more sense. Because basically all the lines that's like the text that's in the movie.
But the text is terrible. Oh.
So Dragon
Oh,
Ball
yeah.
Evolution, it's incredible. It's literally incredible. It's so bad it's good. It's one
I
of
got
those
like
movies.
the last half hour of that on TV, and I was just sitting there just stunned. Just there's no other word for it. I was just stunned at that film.
It just, yeah, I was like just staying up late, and I was channel surfing. There was literally nothing on, and then I saw Dragon Ball Evolution. It's like, oh, I guess I'll torture myself a little bit. And I couldn't believe how entertained I was by how terrible it was, and oh my god, that movie's incredible. Oh man,
Yeah. Wow.
it's like
Super Saiyan. Wait,
it's
you-
like at the very beginning of the movie, like there's Goku rides a bike, there's like a Camaro in there, and it's like a normal high school, and then they get into the classroom, and then it's like it's the future. And they make like there's no preamble saying that it is the future. There's like holograms in the classroom. It's like, what? How does this universe exist where there's a normal Camaro and bicycles, but yet there's a whole bunch of holograms everywhere? It's just,
Is it? I just wondering, is it as bad as The Last Airbender or worse?
I haven't seen The Last Airbender. However, they continuously say airbending in Dragon Ball Evolution. Like, that's all the techniques.
damn.
They say
Wow.
airbending. It's just, and it's like, there's one scene where like Goku, Roshi, and Bulma are like driving through the desert looking for one of the Dragon Balls, and then they fall into a hole that was dug for them by Yamcha, and then like Bulma's using her device and saying, "Oh, there's a Dragon Ball on the other side of this wall." So out of all the holes in the whole entire desert where they could have fallen, they land right next to a Dragon Ball. And then they dig through the wall, and then there's the underground volcano.
What?
And then, and then Piccolo has like all his goons in there, and they go after all of them, and like they find the Dragon Ball, and it's across this whole pit of lava. And then Goku starts attacking all these like Piccolo's minions, and he starts like brutally attacking them, ripping them apart, and Bulma's looking on in terror at what like sadistic measure Goku is going through, and then he starts throwing the body parts into the lava to use as stepping stones, and then she's perfectly fine with what she just saw. And then when Goku's jumping on every single body part, it doesn't sink into the lava at all. It just remains perfectly level. And
Well, how does that compare to the anime? Because I haven't seen it, but whatever the reality is in there, I'm like, what earth is this taking place on?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
in all
but
fairness, the anime is insane too.
I've only ever seen Dragon Ball Z. Like, I've never seen the original Dragon Ball. So, and Dragon Ball Z was crazy enough as it is, and this, like, they're still trying to go for some semblance of reality, but the realism of it just makes everything else
Yeah,
way
you
more
can't
hilarious.
put realism into a Dragon Ball thing.
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of random slow motion shots for no apparent reason, and just makes everything seem completely silly and ridiculous. And did I mention Ernie Hudson's in this movie?
What?
No! What?
Why?
He's like
Money.
he's like a sensei or something. He like has his mystical white beard and hair. It's Ernie Hudson, and it's just and oh man, and like there's Chi Chi, like Goku's like girlfriend. I don't know, and Roshi took Goku to this temple, and then while on their way there, they just run into Chi Chi for no apparent reason. But she's like fighting in this tournament that's going on, and then Goku is taken to the temple by Roshi and says, "Okay, in order to defeat Piccolo, you have to know this secret move, and it's the only way you can defeat him." And then Chi-Chi shows up, and apparently she knows all about this secret technique for no reason at all, and it's hilarious.
What?
And the very last scene is basically, I don't care about spoiling this movie whatsoever, but literally the very last scene is Goku and Chi-Chi trying to like establish their relationship. In order to do this, they square off in an arena to fight one another, and then they start charging one another. They leap up into the air in slow motion, and the credits roll.
Amazing.
And there's also an actor in this movie named Texas Battle.
Texas Battle.
Is that the new
Yeah, Texas.
character?
Texasify it.
So yeah, Dragon Ball Evolution is incredible.
It's directed by the guy that directed and wrote Final Destination.
Yep. And you know what the most
The
impressive
first
part
one.
about this is? You know who produced this movie? Stephen Chow. The guy who did Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle.
What? That's depressing.
He was originally
Oh,
going
is
to
it?
direct it too.
I bet if he directed it, it would have
I
been
absolutely
better.
agree with you. If he had directed it, he would have found the way to make it fun goofy instead of stupid goofy.
Yeah. So I saw that, and I saw Lockout. Who wants to hear
Oh,
about
Lockout, the space
space prison
movie,
where
right?
ex-CIA officer has to go rescue the president's daughter, which is probably the best premise for a movie, maybe ever. But yeah, the Lockout it's a decent movie. Like, it's not cool enough to be like a good movie, and it's not dumb enough to be a bad, like so bad it's good movie.
Why was everyone talking about Lockout this weekend? Because I saw like about the entire everyone just talking about Lockout on Twitter and stuff like. What did everyone just decide that this was the weekend they were going to see Lockout?
I don't know, but there's like a space jump that happens in Lockout, and I think it was happening at the same
okay,
time.
that makes sense.
Felix Baumgartner was going down, so
Okay.
yeah, Lockout's okay. Like, there's some, considering the movie's like cost like $20 million to make, some of the CG is actually really impressive. But there's one scene in the beginning that has some of the worst CG I've ever seen, and I couldn't stop laughing. I'm not sure whether it was supposed to or not, but it was just, yeah. It's probably on YouTube. If you go look for it, like motorcycle chase, Lockout, it'll probably show up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, and Guy Pearce makes a good John McClane surrogate, and I actually like Maggie Grace. She was pretty good in it, but she's much better when she's paired up with Guy Pearce. So yeah. And oh yeah, at the very beginning of the movie, to introduce every single character instead of like thoughtful like way to write it, like through dialogue or something, they just have tiny little graphics that show up introducing all the characters at the like first 15 minutes of the movie and saying what their job is.
What?
It's like when they show Guy Pearce, it just pops up, Snow, ex-CIA officer. And then they
Is it like Borderlands?
No, because it's just this tiny little graphic that just pops up and then
like
disappears.
Borderlands, I guess.
So then
Yeah,
they cut
like-
over to Peter Stormare, and it shows up again.
What?
And then
He's
this other
still
guy,
an ex-CIA officer.
and then there's this other guy that walks in, and it does it for him as well. Yeah, and then the space person runs into the International Space Station, which happens to kill an important plot character at an important time. So, you know, at the Lockout.
Cool. Well, let's head into the news. What do you have for us this week, Kevin?
Everyone's favorite Aaron Paul, aka Jesse Pinkman, is been cast in the Need for Speed video game movie adaptation.
Street racing, bitch.
Okay.
I did mention it was a slow news week, so
I hope you play. Okay, my idea for this was that Aaron Paul. Do you all know who Razor Callahan is, right?
$5,000.
I mean, I know you know, but do you guys know who Razor Callahan is?
Nope.
No.
Okay, well, basically there was a video game called Need for Speed Most Wanted, and it contained the greatest story ever told to mankind. It was the story of a bolt-on wonder boy looking to get smoked, and his arch-nemesis, Clarence Razor Callahan. Like, he was like some kind of Linkin Park fan called Clarence who happened to be good at street racing. It's genius. and it was basically Jesse from Breaking Bad with no talent before Jesse even existed. It was just that stereotype, bang on. And now that Aaron Paul's been cast, it is so perfect. So my idea was that you cannot recast Razor Callahan because it's too perfect. That Jesse is Razor's long-lost brother in the street racing world and must rise up and take on her brother in some kind of like... So basically, as if you had two clones of Jesse street racing against each other in one giant climax for a film. Is that not the best idea ever?
Okay.
Fast and the Furious.
Sure. I don't.
Whatever you say.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's really hard to explain because it's like a bit ridiculous.
A bit.
Yes.
Just a tiny bit odd.
All right. Well, I've got nothing really to add to the Need for Speed conversation, but
Well, there's no point for a Need for Speed movie because they already have the
it's-
Fast and the Furious franchise.
it's called Fast and the Furious. Yeah, exactly. That is the Need for Speed video game movie.
Wait.
We're waiting.
What are we waiting
Oh
on?
no! I thought I was referring to the fact that you said the Need for Speed video game.
No, there's no need for a Need for Speed movie because there's already the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, I know, I agree. But why have we, the way you already moved past... Can we...
Next news story.
Yeah, so let's get this over with.
I don't... Thanks, Need for Speed. You derailed the podcast. You broke us.
I think we were broken before we got here.
I was trying to figure out what the hell they could do with a Need for Speed video game movie, and it just fried the rest of my egg of a brain. So...
No, I've
let's
worked
get it back.
out.
Let's energize it back up because I know what the remaining news story is.
Well, I got another news story
I still want to talk
before
about
that
Need for
one.
Speed for a second.
Before
Hold
Coulson
on.
lives. There's one more.
What?
Go ahead.
What?
Jackson, you said you wanted to talk about more. Go
Oh,
on.
okay.
Oh.
So, like Kevin keeps cutting in and out. Sorry. Now, what is going to happen when we get the Need for Speed the movie, the game?
It'll just be another video game.
It will be a re-release of the first Need for Speed game, and no one will notice.
And then there'd be a re-release of the movie. It's like that's based on the game, that's based on the movie, that's based on the game, that's based on the movie, and just keep going and going and going and
Just make it for the Wii U so I can see people playing the Wii U behind the wheel of their car while pretending to drive a car in the game.
Does anybody remember?
And then we have Need for Speed, the board game.
Yes.
And then
I
the
like where this
card
goes.
game.
Need for Speed dice roll. Tabletop.
Tabletop. Good Jesus.
Well, this just,
Dungeons and Need for Speed.
this just
Dungeons
reminded
and
me of...
Speed.
Speed and dragons. Dragons and speed.
Dragons and Speed.
We got this back on track with Dragons and Speed.
Another great band name.
Speed dragon.
Okay, next news story. Cause
I cast Dragon Fuel, gives me +5 adrenaline.
Nitrous oxide gives me +4 to my...
Okay, yeah, next news story.
Okay, so a couple years ago, there was going to be a Terminator 5 movie that was going to star Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it was going to be directed by Justin Lin, who did Fast 5 and Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. And basically, this movie's kind of been just kind of dead in the water for the past few years because, of course, Justin Lin went on to do Fast 6, and Arnold is doing, like, The Last Stand, and there's some other movie, but basically, this week, they came out with the story premise for Terminator 5 that basically kind of pushed away any sort of potential investors for the film. And the story is, in the future, like right after Terminator Salvation or something like that, an Arnold Schwarzenegger type Terminator model gets sent back in time to an alternate universe where Kyle Reese is still alive and he's hooked up with Sarah Connor. And this movie would still have Michael Biehn and Lyndall Hamilton reprising their roles.
No.
Wait, so it's just the Terminator again?
Yes.
But
Basic.
he's
Now
a
they're
good
all old.
guy. And old.
They're
Which, by the way, why would Arnold Schwarzenegger still be playing the Terminator? Because why would robots create an old machine?
maybe to
It's
fool
like
their
on-
enemies.
It's like on Futurama when you see, like, homeless robots or, like, you know... Why would someone build that?
I don't know, it's just that the whole idea of an alternate universe just seems way too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Not to mention, if it's an
Terminator-
alternate universe, then why are they going to try and kill off Sarah Connor? Because
But if it's an
In the
alternate
alternate-
universe, it doesn't make any sense for Kyle Reese to be there.
If it's an alternate universe, then nothing that they do over there will change anything in their universe, which is what they're trying to send him back in time to do.
Too
my
many
confusion.
plot holes.
You know who should write this movie? Stephen Moffat should write this movie.
Oh, please.
Yeah, because he does time paradoxes very well from what we talked about in the last episode.
Then it will all just not make any sense, and Sarah Connor will die immediately.
Well, a lot of this idea that is
Get to the TARDIS. Sorry, I had to say that.
That was very good.
Well, one of the things Justin Lin was saying when he was first talking about the project was that he didn't like in Terminator 3 where they said, "Oh yeah, Sarah Connor, she died from leukemia." He didn't like that, so he wanted to have his own version of the film where she was still alive.
Then dude, how it would be so easy for him to just go in there and instead say that Sarah Connor is actually alive and that dying from leukemia was actually just a cover up, and she was decided to go deeper to fight off, Skynet or something.
But then they would have had a retcon Terminator Salvation.
That's almost as ridiculous as if someone wanted to break up Mary Jane and Peter Parker, and they decided to have Peter Parker make a deal with the devil.
In all fairness, Peter told the devil no. Mary Jane was the one who came back in and said yes.
Don't, in all fairness, anything about that bullshit book.
Oh, that's all bullshit. I almost stopped reading Spider-Man after that.
Whoa, wait. I've never heard of this. Explain it to me.
Oh, in Marvel Comics, Joe Quesada, the guy who was the head of Marvel Comics up until recently, decided that he didn't like the idea of Peter being married because it made him seem too old, even though Peter was almost 30. So they decided that
Was he
instead
still in
of
high
having... No, no. Despite the fact that a 30-year-old plays him in high school, he is not actually in high school in the comics. But so they decided that instead of having him and Mary Jane break up, they would then retcon the marriage completely out of existence. So what they did was they had Aunt May get shot because Peter revealed his identity to the public, and then Peter tried to do everything he could to save her, and no one could do anything. So Mephisto, the devil, showed up and said, "I can feel my virginity growing back as I explain this." Mephisto, the devil, shows up. And
I
said,
thought that was
like
something he said to the character. I was like, why would he say that?
No.
I'm just imagining virginity as an object next to you, just building itself up.
Never thought you'd see me again, motherfucker.
Don't worry, I'll get rid of that for you.
Shut up. That's gross. All right.
You brought it up.
Shut up. All right. So Mephisto, the devil, shows back up, says, "Hey, I can solve all this. I can keep her alive. But, you gotta give me something." He says, "Well, should I give you my soul?" He says, "No, I want your soul. I want your love. I want you and Mary Jane to break up, because that way your true souls will forever be screaming out for each other, but can never have each other. And that will be like music to my ears." So, Mary Jane says, "Yes, okay, we'll do this." So what they did is that they changed it so that Peter never showed up on the day of the wedding. And so because he got involved in a robbery or something as Spider-Man. And so then they never got married. And so they never got married, but they decided that they would still live together and continue to date. So in other words, every Spider-Man story up till that point still happened, just not with them married, which is stupid.
And also you're missing out the part where everything that happened aside from that was complete and total nonsense, with Peter Parker whining like he's never whined before for no apparent reason. Oh, that comic is so bad.
It's so fucking bad.
This sounds like it could be the plot for The Amazing Spider-Man 3, and then that's how they reboot.
Reboot it again?
Yep.
The reboot.
I could get that's so ridiculous. I could get behind that.
I actually have a theory, which is that currently in the comics they're going to end Amazing Spider-Man at issue number 700, which is coming up in a few months, and they have said that's it for Peter Parker. Peter Parker is done, and then they're launching, and I kid you not, it's actually called this, the Superior Spider-Man. The month after that, in which a new person is going to be Spider-Man. So my theory is Marvel actually went, well, we're not getting the Spider-Man property back from them. What if we just stop using Peter Parker and create this new guy, and then we can do our Spider-Man movies?
It should just be Stan Lee. Just make Stan Lee Spider-Man.
Hey, man.
I'm just like seeing these guys go through a thesaurus to find another word for amazing.
Oh, God.
I can't wait till they get to just the dregs of those words.
The
Spectacular?
unequivocally
No, already
brilliant
used it.
Spider-Man.
The brilliant Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man.
The above-average Spider-Man. The shut up, you'll buy it anyways Spider-Man.
The spider-like Spider-Man.
The manly Spider-Man.
The feminine Spider-Man.
And then they'll just
Spider-Woman.
reboot the entire thing and just call it The Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone give that guy a job in marketing.
So yeah, what's our next news story?
That's it.
Oh, wait, no, there's more stories.
Come on, we have
First
both
off-
the Coulson show.
Okay,
and,
that's all the news I have written down.
Okay.
and Ant-Man, which we talked about later.
You can see into the future. Into the future, we talk about Ant-Man.
Wait, did we?
No,
I guess
all
we did.
All we did was reference that we'd already talked about it.
What we're doing now, so it's not a lie. Yes, Ant-Man has been given the date.
So now we have to break her wrist because we can't
Because, yes, we read it. Alright, we said it, whatever.
We said it and read it.
Said it and read it. Alright, so yes.
Forget it.
So the Ant-Man date is officially set. 2015, which is good because it comes out before the Avengers does.
No,
I
it
believe.
doesn't.
Oh,
No, it doesn't.
comes
You're wrong.
after.
You're a wrong person.
So basically,
that's
Ant-Man is essentially
The first.
Phase 3.
The first.
Yeah,
Ah.
that's intriguing.
Because every phase has to end with the Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Avengers
so that
comes
is
out
something of
May, and
importance.
then it's November for Ant-Man.
Okay, I was hoping that we could get the Wasp in Avengers 2, but I know they're looking to, what was it, Miss Marvel. Yeah.
What?
Emily Blunt. That's a good choice. Considering she turned down Black Widow. I can't remember who the other person was rumored to be. It was Emily Blunt and somebody else.
They have to start killing some of these Avengers off now because there's too many.
Well, they need more female
Well, they
characters.
did. They
in
killed
that.
off Coulson, but that's not happening.
They need more female characters.
Oh no,
That's-
I'm
yeah.
not denying that, but they have to replace they have to Transformers the movie it.
So, take all the guys and just gender bend them.
No, I
I
just
don't
as
know
in
what
kill
movie
off
you're
all the
writing,
old.
but I know it would be successful.
It's called fan fiction. Shut up.
It's like when you go to Comic-Con and you see typically male characters played by women.
Yes.
It's like that. So, who's the female Tony Stark? Or Robert Downey Jr.?
Oh,
Chelsea
I
Handler.
like
Wait,
I like this game.
this is a good game. I approve of this game.
Oh,
It's also really hard.
I just remember before we get into the Coulson one, there is another news story that came out, which is that Armie Hammer is in the talks to be Batman in the Justice
Again.
League movie.
Wait, is that someone's name?
Yes,
Armie Hammer, yeah.
and a
Armie
baking soda
Hammer.
product.
That's why in the
Armie
Social
Hammer, he was the
Network-
guy in. He was the Winklevoss twins in the Social Network.
And that's why Jesse Eisenberg was wearing an Arm & Hammer t-shirt in that movie.
Yes. But yeah, and he was also on Reaper. But yeah,
He's in The Lone Ranger coming up this year.
he is.
Next year,
He's the
sorry.
Lone Ranger. Which, let me just say, Armie Hammer would make a great Bruce Wayne. He'd make a terrible Batman. But he's got the voice. But yeah, he'd actually make a better Superman. But yeah, anyway.
And he was originally considered for the Justice League movie that was the George Miller version that was canceled.
How old is he? Because he would.
He's got to
He could
be
not-
in his 30s.
Oh,
At
really?
least.
Oh, I thought it was much younger than that. Okay. But yeah, and then of course the other big news is that Agent Coulson is alive, and that he will
Yes.
be in the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, which we called on a previous episode of this.
Well, yeah, because you don't make a T.O. TV show without that guy. That just marketing-wise, he is the right level of star to carry that. Of course, he's the main character.
Yes,
That
it's
and
logical, of course, but it's still this news sort of ruins Coulson's death for me in the Avengers.
It depends how they handle it. It puts him on thin
Yeah.
ice, but I think the way that his death was handled in the movie was done with enough foresight for this being a possibility.
But
Yeah,
it's
I
just
agree.
like what his death causes and what his importance is. Like his
No,
death is the version why they all come together.
No, his death isn't. It's what Fury does. Fury gives them the push. Like, he says that line, indicating that, wait, we can't trust anything this guy says.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember the very first one of these things I did, it wasn't even a podcast, it was just me trying to do some kind of an audio thing, so I just took questions from the Screen community about the Avengers film, just to give anybody information about. And somebody asked, well, what the heck is the point of Nick Fury? What does Nick Fury even do? And I said, Nick Fury is the guy who gets them to assemble. Nick Fury is the guy who brings people together. He can't knock down, a skyscraper, but he can assemble the team that will do it. So that's why you don't mess with Nick Fury. And in the movie, that's exactly what he does. He's the guy who, when Maria Hill says those cards were in his locker, they weren't in his chest, and he says, yeah, well, they need the push. Yeah, Nick Fury knew what to do to get the team together. So, I mean, it might take away from Coulson's death. It adds to Fury, then, in that case. Because
I
Fury
agree.
knew what to do with that.
I think, however, it will be poorly handled if they do anything other than reveal he just survived it and Fury did it for the push. If they do the stupid AI, the Vision thing, or any of those things, they're dumb because they are reversing death.
Yeah.
But if they said that he never died and it was all the Fury cover-up, which does actually add a layer rather than just take a layer away, then it could work.
Yeah.
But they have to they cannot do it again.
Right. I didn't check, but did you guys mention Avengers on last week's episode?
Yes.
Been
Yeah.
Avengers 13 weeks in running. Yeah.
Woo!
All right.
I
So, yeah,
just
the
saw
news-
some breaking news.
Oh?
It seems
Break
that
'em.
Warner Brothers won the big court thing over the Schuster and thing.
Oh.
What?
It's over the Superman rights. It sounds like Warner Brothers won over
Oh.
the Schuster and what's the other guy's name?
Spiegel?
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah.
Warner Brothers won in the end. So
What do they do? Like bake cookies? Hello, we are Schuster and Spiegel. Sorry, I just was really mean to some people who just lost a lot of money there. Feel bad.
Well, no, it wasn't. They didn't lose the money. They're both passed away. It's their family who lost the money, but
Oh.
it's the
Sorry,
estate.
They still have their
basically.
cookies.
they still have that cookie franchise.
Where would we be without them?
But yeah, so I guess that was the news then. All right, excellent. Maybe Superman will be good again now. Because in the comics they've been trying to push away from his origin and change him so much, and so many people think it is because Warner Brothers was afraid that they would lose the rights, so they were basically trying to create a totally different Superman. So hopefully now they will realize that this new Superman they've created is terrible. But anyways,
Is it the same Superman? I saw a picture of him. He was wearing jeans and a t-shirt.
that was his. They launched 2 books. One was explaining his origin, and one was in the current day. And that was him in his origin when he first got to Metropolis. He just wore jeans and a T-shirt with a Superman T-shirt with a Superman symbol on. Which, by the way, if this was Superman's first appearance, how did he have the T-shirt with the Superman symbol on? I don't understand. Anyways,
He designed it himself.
but yes, and yeah, his current modern day look, he looks like Iron Man. It looks like he has to assemble a metallic suit around him and stand on one of those Tony Stark pads where it builds the stuff around him.
It's to protect him from kryptonite.
Remember when Superman needed to change and he just ran into an alleyway and opened his shirt and there was the suit underneath?
Or he just
Now
need-
he has to hold out a manual and go, okay, piece 2-5 goes in slot A, and...
Oh, shit, Lex Luthor already destroyed Chicago. God damn it, guys.
I am really interested in, I swear, this is true, when the new Superman film comes out, I am really interested in seeing how Republicans are going to react to that. Because I was just thinking about recently, it's Lex Luthor is a businessman just trying to make corporate deals. And Superman is the guy coming out saying, hey, we should all get along and share and be nice to each other. And they are currently in this country attacking Sesame Street. They actually, I swear to you, this is true. There was a clip of Sesame Street where Grover was asking a little girl, if someone didn't have food and you had food, would you give them some? And she said yes. And he said, why? He says, because they don't have any. And then conservative groups actually came out and said that is liberal propaganda, that one clip. And it actually got me thinking, how are they going to feel when the Superman movie comes out?
Well, one of them tried to sue The Dark Knight Rises for taking the piss out of them, so one assumes they're not all that smart to put it together.
Binders.
Yeah. Binders.
A binder of Superman.
A binder of Superman.
Hey guys, I got this binder of Kryptonite right here. Kryptonite binder.
Next issue in Superman. Superman attempts to escape from the binder. He's got a villain who fights with toys. It's no real surprise they wouldn't have a villain who fights with binders. Anyway,
doesn't Batman have a villain that fights with the date?
Fights with the what? Oh,
calendar man.
No, that was Batman. Yeah, that was Batman. Batman had a calendar man. Yes.
Oh, that's what I meant. Batman. Sorry.
Yeah, Batman has calendar man.
I thought you meant like date as in like, dating someone.
I thought you meant date as in the fruit.
Yeah.
Behold, dried fruit man.
You cannot
My
defeat
nemesis.
the date squares. Never.
Raisin man.
Raisin man.
No,
A
just
very
the
old
raisins.
man who used to be called Great Boy.
Prune man! Look how he prunes when he sits in the bathtub too long!
Oh no! Whatever will we do against this great mighty presence?
Aquaman's greatest foe, the man who shrivels up when he gets in water.
We'd call Superman, but he's too busy putting his suit on.
Oh, that's a good spot to go out on. Alright, you guys stay tuned, because we're going to come back with our special guest and talk about Halloween. And we're back for part 2 of our episode, our big Halloween part 1 episode, part 2 of part 1. Alright, and returning from the last segment, we have Kevin. He's there, trust me, folks. We have Jackson.
Hello.
We have Mike.
Hey.
We have Michelle.
Hello.
And we have a very special guest with us. Very special guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, God, you're making it so hard. Yes, this is Stacey.
Hey!
So much build-up! Oh
I know,
my gosh!
Oh my God. So much to live up to. Yes, this is editor Stacey, Stacey WI, however you want to know me or refer to me from now on.
Yeah! Great to have you on board. We have all been big fans of the stuff that you've been doing. You know, we've seen how hard you've been working on the site, and it's great to finally, get a chance to talk to you. And would you like to just give all the people listening an introduction to yourself? Tell everybody about your how you got to work for Screen, or your favorite films, television, just a little something about you, whatever you want.
Yes, I will actually give you. I know people have kind of wondered about my background, so I'll give a little update on that. I actually started out. I went to film school in Santa Barbara, in California, and then I went directly from there and started working for Fox, the network, and I worked there in casting for about 8 years. And then I moved over to Berman Braun and came into the digital side, and so then when the whole Screen transition happened, It was kind of like with my knowledge of film and TV, it just kind of happened, and that's how I started working on Screened. So
Cool. When you were in school, what was your concentration? Like, what area of film were you focusing on?
It was a film study, so in our program was more a critical studies program than production, so it was kind of a whole expanse of history, theory, analysis, all of that. So I didn't really have a specific focus. It was just kind of everything. So, which was good and bad. It kind of gave a broad view of everything, but not a specific view of anything. So
I'm relating on so many levels right now.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, and I've spoken with you through notes before, and you mentioned that you're mostly a big TV person. When did that kind of start? When did you sort of fall in love with television?
It's funny. I actually laugh at my parents because I had a lot of rules when I was a kid that I was not allowed to watch TV. I think my sister and I both had like a limit of maybe 30 minutes a day. So by the time I was in high school that I was actually, controlled my own television watching, I completely rebelled against them and watched everything that I ever could.
Isn't that how it always is?
Yeah, it's like, I'm happy you did this, but now, and then I think it really happened too when I started working at Fox, and then it just kind of, so I was actually at the network and just read everything, watched everything, and just kind of grew from there. So, yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite programs on television at the moment? I mean, anyone who follows Screen closely can probably tell.
Yeah, I was going to say, it probably by telling what recaps I write, probably not hard to tell, but...
Is it Weeds?
No. Would you kill me if I said I've never watched an episode of Weeds?
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
You made the right choice.
Weeds is a good show up until a point.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I've heard. It's one that I just haven't invested in yet, but I feel like I should watch, like, a few episodes to be able to talk about it, but I haven't.
Yeah, it's one of those shows that you can shotgun a couple episodes, right, in one sitting. So
Yes. So, Walking Dead I love. I know I was a bit in the minority about Season 2, but I still love it. Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy, and I'm actually, Mad Men, I'm very worried about when Breaking Bad and Mad Men are gone, what is going to be left on, but...
Yeah, I've been wondering about the future of television, because I know so many shows that are getting close to going off the air. And...
Yeah, it's really crazy, and I haven't really found anything that excites me so much that will replace those shows, so I'm really curious as to what's going to happen, actually.
Yeah, what network would you say is probably the best place to trust for who will probably take over? Because it used to always be HBO, but, I mean, they've got Boardwalk Empire, but...
Yeah, I actually think I don't know that I can say network, because I think at any point it's going to be who comes out with the best show. Like, I think it could, HBO could bring it back, AMC could bring back another one, FX could pull it out. I feel like it's going to be whoever gets the best show to kind of draw from could be the one.
That's excellent. Does anybody here have a question they'd like to ask Stacey?
What are your thoughts on the Battlestar Galactica finale?
Oh, don't do that! You're going to put me on the spot right away, huh?
Surprise, this is actually our Battlestar Galactica episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ironically, that actually ties into my Halloween costume, but anyways. If you can tell from my avatar, but,
Oh, you're going to be Gaius? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I must say I'm actually torn on it. I know that it's not perfect. I really hate the final scene between, is it
the
Caprica?
Angel 6 and Gaius, basically.
That one just kind of was like, it didn't need it. I didn't like it, but...
They went too far.
Yeah, it kind of just took it to that place too far, but the rest of it, I actually really liked. And I don't know if I was because I was so attached to the show that I kind of forgave a lot, but...
It's more about the emotional payoff at the end.
Yes.
It's more satisfying. Like, the moment where Gaius says, I know about farming, it's just the waterworks start for me, so...
Yes.
That's the emotional payoff
for me, the Laura scene, that I couldn't handle that scene. So yeah. So I was okay.
Then,
I know it's not perfect, but
Yeah, and then there's Starbuck.
Yes.
So,
Oh, yes. Yes.
yeah.
We could go on about Starbuck.
I just realized what episode I'm going to have you back on for. All right.
I did just finish the series for the second time, so, you know.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Have you ever seen Portlandia? Everybody keps sending me a clip of this one
Yes.
sketch where they just, the Battlestar
The
Galactica
Battlestar
sketch.
Galactica. Yes, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And that actually was me. It was kind of like this one more episode.
That's how I was. That's how I am with any show that I get addicted to. I think that's how anyone is with
Yeah.
a show when they get addicted to. Last one was Doctor Who for me. I started watching it because I was like, I got to finish writing this project for work, and you know what? Everybody keeps telling me to watch this. I have it on in the background, and I got so far behind on that project because I just. But yeah, all right. Well, it was great to have you on board, and let's get into what our topic is, and that is that Halloween is coming up. I don't know about you guys, but Halloween, hands down, my favorite holiday.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yes.
Mike, anybody else gonna jump on this
So
one?
close. I love Christmas too, but yes. Absolutely.
Yes, it's like,
You don't get to dress up in costume for Christmas, so
True.
well, you get to wear a Santa hat.
That doesn't count.
yeah.
But
Although
yes.
Christmas does have an alcoholic beverage based around it, so there is that.
Well, there's
But
pumpkin beer.
That's just being lazy. I want
there's
to get
no-
drunk.
No,
and
there's
have
some
an
bad
excuse.
pumpkin beer, and then there's really good pumpkin beer, so...
There's no lack of alcoholic beverages at Halloween, though. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Well, yeah, but no, they were themed
Put on
around
the
it. Yeah.
costumes. I think, yes.
Man, the one thing Halloween needs is more alcohol.
Yes. Well, I can drink eggnog at work, and no one raises an eyebrow. That's what I'm saying. I can't drink pumpkin beer outside. Because I like to be social when I'm drunk. But yes, anyway. But yeah, absolutely love Halloween. Have ever since I was a kid. I used to save up year-round just to buy a Halloween mask. And, you know what, as an adult, still love it even more. You know, I know there's this big campaign, and people are splitting into two sides, of people saying that adults celebrate it too much. I am on the opposite end of that fence. I cannot get enough of it. I dedicate the entire month to just watching and doing anything related to Halloween. So my first question to you guys is, you know, what are your plans for Halloween this year? Anybody have any plans where they want to dress up as, or, you know, any parties they're going to attend?
I was going to say, as always, this is actually the first year I've wanted to do it forever. I don't know how it's going to work out. I'm going to dress up as Six from Battlestar for Halloween. So that is yes, I was like, it's one of those things I've never figured out if I could do, but that's what I'm doing, and actually we have a big party at my house, and it's kind of in a neighborhood where people, last year at one point, we looked around and didn't know anybody at the party, so it's kind of crazy, so that's my plan. We'll see how it works out.
We're going to go down to, we live in New York, so every year we go down to the big Halloween parade in Greenwich Village, which is something that for anybody who is ever thinking about coming up to New York and doing, go to it late. I know that sounds like the worst piece of advice, but I remember my first year going to that thing. It was so jam-packed. Like, there were, like, old ladies just trying to get down the street, and I was severely worried for their well-being. And, I mean, I kept hearing people saying, it's never been this bad, it gets worse every year. And, like, there was one point in which I actually had to dive into a pizzeria just to wait for the crowd to thin out, and I had to wait in that doorway for, like, 30 minutes. And the very next year, a friend of mine moved up to New York from North Carolina, which is the same place where I used to come from. And she said, I can't wait to go out there and do the parade. And I was like, go around 9 o'clock. Wait until, you know, like 3 hours after it starts. That's when it's going to start dying down. And, you know, for the love of God, wait until I get off work, and then I will come, I will pick you up, and we will go. And she went, all right, fine, I understand. I get off work and look at my phone, and there's 5 texts on there from her saying, I decided to go on ahead, I'm sure everything will be fine. Oh my God, there are so many people here, I wasn't expecting this. Help! I don't know what to do. I'm lost. I'm panicking. I think I'm gonna be sick. And it just kept going. It was like reading a really bad short story. And yeah, she was one of the most confident girls I had ever known. And she ended up having panic attacks and said, I gotta get out of this city. It's too insane. Because yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, if you just wait until the thing is almost over, you go down there, lots of walking room, and there's still people in the street parading, music playing. It's a great experience.
You still need to get your costume for this year.
I don't know what I'm going to be yet.
Anyone give him suggestions?
None of them have seen me. They don't know what it
I
was
know,
like.
I'm like, I'm actually the worst with figuring out costumes, so I'm not the person to ask.
Every single year, I hate saying this, but every single year I get great ideas for what I want to be, and then at the last minute, I'm a big comic book junkie, so at the last minute, I always put everything off until the last minute, and then I just go, crap, I'll just be Multiple Man, because Multiple Man's costume is a t-shirt with his symbol on, and then jeans and sneakers. And that's it, and that's what I always end up going as, because I always wait till the last minute and just go with the laziest costume ever.
You're gonna be Multiple Man this year again?
No. Yes.
You should be Wilfred.
Well, oh wait, the dog from the FX show.
I like that
Yes.
idea.
Someone did dress up as him at Comic-Con. So.
I saw somebody going around as him at Comic Con. Yeah, I just got back from Comic Con too, so I saw lots of ideas and none that I have the cash to pull off. But yeah, anybody else have any ideas for what they want? Anybody else know what they want to be for Halloween or have any plans?
I have no plans.
Don't think I have any plans this year. Mostly just, decorating. I've always wanted to have like a Halloween scene like in my front yard, and we just moved into a house last year, so I'm kind of excited to get stuff out there and just kind of make it look creepy. It's small now, but I'm hoping to grow it over the years, so it'll be this big. I don't know what it'll be, but something scary and fun, I hope.
That's the best thing, in my opinion, about owning your own house is that at not Christmas time, at Halloween time, you actually get to just go nuts and do whatever you want.
Well, you can go nuts on Christmas, too.
We live in this is a, in a tiny studio apartment in New York.
No, I meant like when you said that's the best thing about having your own house. You can go nuts on Halloween. It's like you can also go nuts on Christmas, too.
Oh, yeah, on Christmas, too, yeah. Yeah, you can, yeah. I remember... Oh, jeez, I grew up next to the Bible Belt, so whenever Christmas came around, it was just every single street in my hometown. You couldn't even tell it was night because there were so many fluorescent lights out on everybody's front yard, just lighting up the night sky. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things about living in when I lived in like the suburbs and like small little rural communities. It's this the lengths that people went to decorate their houses for Halloween. What was everybody might not be doing something this year, but does anybody have any particular like favorite Halloween memories or like favorite things that you used to do on Halloween?
No, I've only ever been out once in my entire life.
I was going to say, is Halloween big over there?
Yeah, but just not for me. I went out twice. I had one of the worst nights of my life, and one that was alright. I was like 7. It went pretty poorly.
I was hoping you'd be an adult, because then that can be a funny story. But one of the worst nights of your life when you're 7 is not. That's a sad story waiting to be told.
No, when I come home from one of my worst nights of my life now, I laugh all through the day.
Well,
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
you get what I'm saying. Yeah.
But Halloween's weird over here for me because it's just like it's kind of boring. You suddenly switch from everyone's getting chocolate to everyone's having sex, but everyone switches at a second time. So you're about 14. Half your class are going out getting chocolate, and half your class are going out having sex. It's really weird. It's a weird transitional period. I just try to. I'm really boring, so I'm just trying to get to sleep. I might go out this year. Who knows?
You're at university. You basically just have to go down 2 halls and you'll find something.
I was about to say, isn't this your first year actually living in the university itself?
Yeah, all I have to do is go to my kitchen, and there won't be a trick there for me.
You will find something to do on a college campus at Halloween time.
No doubt. That's not really me. My flatmates have destroyed my house already. Like, the kitchen is... You don't even want to know. Welcome to college, guys.
We will probably have a college episode in which we all just have to exchange war stories, because I could go bumper to bumper with anyone on this planet with my college roommate stories. So
I might have to skip out on that one since I've never actually been in a dorm.
Well, you were in the Navy. You probably have weird stories about that. But I don't know.
Guess.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh god, I'm trying to get so many memories out of my head that are just suddenly rushing back.
Don't do it.
No.
It's a slippery slope. Once you start,
jeez.
they'll never stop.
Oh, I got a memory. It's
Oh, wait, of Halloween? Or
Yes,
of
Halloween.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I was going to say, this isn't the college episode
No,
yet.
I know. I'm actually trying to stay on track, believe it or not.
Someone has to.
Alright, so, like, when I was little, one woman in the neighborhood would, like, go all out, and she would have, like, this teddy bear collection, and she would, like, put the teddy bears on display and, like, have them all, like, trick-or-treating, or, like, have, like, a haunted house, and we just, like, go from room to room with all these teddy bears in all these, like, Halloween-themed situations, like... And it was really cute, and I always had a lot of fun.
That's cool. So it was like a teddy bear house, basically.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a teddy
cool.
bear house. That was Halloween. Like they do it every year on Halloween. So
That's pretty cool. I love when people have like that one. Every neighborhood has that one house when you're trick or treating that like is like the special house. Like they do something weird. But yeah, my favorite Halloween memory back when I was living in Raleigh, North Carolina. That was like the one city in North Carolina that had a big Halloween parade, and I remember going to it at one year, and first off I saw the greatest Halloween costume I've ever seen. It was like a dozen people coming together to form a moving haunted house. Like they were each holding up a different wall that had like different lights and moving objects in the windows. And, like, they were all assembled together and making sure to move it. So you would just see off in the distance this tiny house, and as you got closer, you realize it's getting closer. It's actually moving towards me. And they, like, came past playing, like, the Ghostbusters theme song. And it was the most impressive thing I had ever seen. Only other memory I have from that night is that there was this little dinky, like, bluegrass band playing behind someone's house, and no one was there watching it. And me and my buddies decided to take a break to watch them, and then they go, okay, we're going to play something a little different now. And they started playing Journey. And the moment that they did, I swear to God, we turned around, over 200 people we saw turning around and just heading to listen to these guys.
never underestimate the power of Journey.
It's very powerful, yes. Yeah. Okay, well, this is, after all, a movie and television podcast, so let's
What?
It is.
We can talk about other things, too. That's how we
we
don't
have
burn
been
out.
talking about other things.
What's a movie?
It's like, you know that thing that you put the quarter in, then you crank it, and it makes it look like the horse is moving? Cause
No,
the
that's a
engine
film,
moves so fast?
not a movie. We discussed this already.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it.
Hooray for more inside jokes. Alright.
Stacey's just like, what are you talking about?
Huh? Okay.
The most accessible podcast on the internet.
Aaron has this little expression which I deem makes no sense, but he stands by it. He's like, I think The Avengers is a great movie, but The Dark Knight Rises is a great film. And
I
I'm
never
like,
said Dark Knight Rises is a great film.
You said it was the better. No, was it Dark Knight?
It was
I
regular
can't-
Dark Knight, yeah.
Okay,
But no,
fair enough.
what it is that I say that there's a difference between movie and film. It's that movie hits you more on just a pure enjoyment and excitement level. Film hits you more on like an intellectual and emotional level.
Oh, see, I agree with you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
I remember that.
Yeah.
What would you say is a moving picture, though?
Yeah.
A movie-
Where's that fall on? Is that
A
a
moving
movie?
picture is that book that you put together and then you just start flipping it and it looks
That's
like
a
that guy's
flip
walking. They are moving pictures. Moving picture is just, it's both of them. Moving picture isn't even a term that's used anymore. Why am I defending this?
Old timey.
If you'll excuse me, I'm going to get my jalopy and go down to the drugstore and buy.
So what would you say is a flick then?
A flick is just a term to use for either of those. It's just a flick is more of like a casual expression, like I'm gonna go catch a flick. Just a casual way of referring to either of those.
Halloween, guys.
You're the one
that?
who got me off this topic, and now you're coming back. All right, calm down.
No, it was Michelle.
Mommy and Daddy aren't going to fight. We have guests over today. Let's see. Okay. But yeah, I was about to say, this is a movie podcast, movie and film television. See, you screwed me up on this, Jackson. I blame you. This is a movie/film and television podcast. So, we're, what do you guys like to watch around Halloween? Like, what's your favorite either Halloween special, or it doesn't even have to have anything to do with the season, just something that you enjoy watching at Halloween?
The zombie episode of Castle.
They did a zombie episode of Castle?
It was one of the best things you could ever see. It's so good.
Really?
What's better, the zombie episode of Castle or the zombie episode of Community?
Well, I haven't seen Community,
okay.
but the zombie episode of Castle is pretty good. If none of you seen it, I won't ruin it for you. But it's genius. I love Castle so much.
I think when they premiered The Walking Dead for the first season, they premiered it on Halloween night.
They premiered it on Halloween,
That was
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That, I will admit I'm not the biggest fan of The Walking Dead TV show, but that was a great first episode and an amazing way to celebrate Halloween, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good, like, Halloween night episode. And I liked it, too, because it wasn't necessarily Halloween.
Yeah.
I do love the Halloween specials, but yeah, it was, like, creepy and awesome and fit in, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to sit down and watch something for Halloween. It was just zombies.
Yeah, that shot of him walking through the hospital, that whole sequence of him walking through the hospital, that's one of my favorite things from any zombie thing, period. That's such a good first episode.
I would say it's the best episode of The Walking Dead. That's my opinion.
I'll admit I kind of dropped off halfway through season 2, but
Same.
so I can't go toe to toe. I know so many people absolutely love the final episode of season 2, but I did not see that one. I might start watching now because they go into the prison and it's going to have the governor in this one.
Yeah, so far the first episode of this season was really good, or I thought it was really good, and I thought it'd be worth picking back up. And I don't even know that you would have to watch all of season 2 to pick it back up.
Okay, yeah, that's the weird thing is that I'm a big fan of the comic, so I'm aware of like the things, but I know that they changed so much. So I'm wondering, like what I could pick up if I just suddenly dropped in. Like I know that. Oh god, I'm so bad with names. But the old guy who owned the RV and had the hat. I know
Dale?
that. Yeah,
Dale.
Yeah, I know they killed him off in the show in season 2, where as in the comic, he stays alive much longer. But still, it's I know enough that I think I could jump back in, but yeah, I'll give it a shot again. But
Give it a shot.
But
I just said give it a shot.
give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. All right. Who else has something that they enjoy watching around Halloween?
I was going to say, I actually have three things that I usually watch every Halloween that are very random. Two of them, one of them most people probably won't agree with, but I love Sleepy Hollow, Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, and I watch it every year.
I like that one too.
Yeah,
I've never seen the Tim Burton one. I mean, I've seen the Disney short with the Ichabod and all that,
yes.
but
yeah,
I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
Yeah, I was going to say that I watched in elementary school.
And yeah, no one has watched it since, because I think that is one of the... I've never met somebody who did not say that exact same thing. I watched it when I was a kid, and I'm never watching that again.
I think I actually didn't at first want to watch the Tim Burton Sleepy Hollow, because I was like, really, that story? I don't have any desire to watch that again. But... yeah, I love it, and
it surprised me.
I feel bad for not watching it. I should watch it, seeing as how my hometown wasn't that too far away from Sleepy Hollow.
Oh.
I was unaware of this fact. That's pretty badass. I would brag about that every chance I get.
Where actually is it? I don't even know where actually Sleepy Hollow is. Is it?
Well, there is a Sleepy Hollow. Well, I'm sure that the Sleepy Hollow I was close to is the original one. I don't know, like, there might be a Sleepy Hollow in other states and everything, but I think the one in the legend is the one in like New York.
It's got to be because it was old.
It is.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Old, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, my hometown was like a half-hour drive away from the original Sleepy Hollow. So
you owe it.
So cool. I didn't know this fact.
You owe it to the homeland to watch.
all right, I will get on that.
I own it.
Yes, we will watch it.
I really like Sleepy Hollow. I think it's probably my favourite Tim Burton film. I haven't seen that many, but apart from Sleepy Hollow, I haven't liked any of them.
What about Nightmare Before Christmas?
I was gonna
That's
say, 'cause
another one I always watch.
Yeah.
That's
good.
my other one. That was of my
Yes.
three. It's Sleepy Hollow,
Yes.
Nightmare Before Christmas, and It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, because I also sometimes like to be a 12-year-old.
How good is A Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown? I love that.
So admit it, you always watch it and hope that the Great Pumpkin comes along.
Always! You always hope. I still believe that the Great Pumpkin can come.
What was that line they said? What was it? If! I said if! Now it'll never show. Oh, God, I love that. And Nightmare Before Christmas, yeah, I know that's a personal favorite of yours, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
That was a weird one for me, because I remember when I first watched it, I was going into expecting it to be, like, a big Halloween thing. And it was more of, like, I found it to be more of, like, a Christmas movie
It is.
that
It's
featured
like...
nothing but Halloween characters.
Yeah, it's like Christmas with a Halloween theme or like a Halloween twist or something. And it always makes me wonder if Nightmare Before Christmas is considered a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie.
It works so well on both.
I think it
does.
Well, and it's interesting too. Like Disneyland, they do the whole they convert the haunted house for Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah,
and
they do
it, but they do it for both Halloween and Christmas. It bridges the gap of both, so it's up for the whole starts in September or maybe October, and is up for the whole time. So I guess it's both, you could say.
And that has got one of my favorite intros to any movie.
Oh, yeah.
I love the intro to Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
But
I'm sort of rebelling against Nightmare Before Christmas, because I used to do the thing where if it was on TV during Halloween, I'd watch it then, and then I would watch it again once it was aired during Christmas time, and that's just too much now. And I guess it's the whole thing about, Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Oh, you just feel overexposed on Tim Burton?
Well, just his recent work has just kind of turned me off from his older stuff as well.
Yeah,
we're going how that's happening. Yeah, I've even found myself I have a Tim Burton poster from an art exhibit in my house, and I found that it's really starting to affect my love.
Yeah, after we're done with this episode of the podcast, we're going to record a review for Frankenweenie, and I know what you guys are saying, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's becoming
Yeah, I'm still holding on to Nightmare though. I'm still holding on to those two. I won't let them be stolen away by the new bad movies.
Yes.
I'm still holding on with Big Fish.
Yes.
That's the last great Burton film.
I really like Big Fish. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No one likes Sweeney Todd?
I liked it, but I don't know if I consider that a Tim Burton movie since it was based off a musical.
Well, in that way, you're saying that, Alice in Wonderland is not a Tim Burton film, Dark Shadows is not a Tim Burton film.
I'm
sure all the
Alice in Wonderland was terrible regardless.
So was Dark Shadows.
It's the thing is, I just feel like Burton is at his best when he does, original work. Same thing with, Miyazaki, is I don't really like it when they do their own spin on other things. I mean, Sweeney Todd being the only exception. Then again, I haven't seen the original musical, so I can't really compare it. But still,
they're pretty close.
That's what I've heard.
I saw it in Jersey Girl.
Same. That's a horror movie. Jersey Girl, by the way, is what he said.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I thought he said I saw it in Jersey. I was like, they were playing Sweeney Todd in Jersey?
No, that's how they closed Jersey Girl.
Oh.
Don't watch Jersey Girl. If you want to talk about directors that went downhill.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but when people tell me that's Kevin Smith's worst film, I look at the things that I thought was his worst film and went, holy crap, it's worse than that? Ooh.
They're wrong. Zack and Miri is his worst film.
Zack and Miri minus that Star Wars bit in the middle, I thought was decent.
Oh, it's so terrible. Oh, I hate Zack and Miri so much.
You're rating higher over Cop Out?
I haven't seen Cop Out.
I haven't seen Cop Out. That one looks garbage to begin with. So
I don't count that because he didn't write it. But I don't. Why would I spend that time to see Cop Out that I could spend eating chocolate? What?
Tim Burton,
yes. But anyway, let's see. Oh, what are my favorite things to watch? Oh, yeah, I've got one main tradition that I always watch on Halloween. Every Halloween, I have to watch Evil Dead 2 with the director's commentary on it. It has really nothing to do with Halloween, but it's one of my favorite horror films. And the director commentary is hilarious on that because they've got the actor, the director, the lighting, costume, so many people involved behind the scenes, and they all came together to realize that they made a bad movie and just talk about all the flaws and all the things that are terrible about it. and it cracks me up every time that I watch it. I mean, it's a good film. I really love Evil Dead 2. But, I mean, there's so many things that the first time that I ever watched it, a buddy of mine brought over, like, a VHS copy of it. And, like, he would pause it every now and again and just go, see, you can see the edge of the set. You can see a light right up there. And you can, and you know, oh, this would never have happened. Like, he was doing me the whole commentary. And then I watched the actual commentary on it years later. And they're doing the exact same thing, but pointing out stuff no one noticed that was wrong with it. But yeah, so I absolutely love doing that. And my main thing that I absolutely love to watch all around Halloween is the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes.
Yes. Hell yeah!
I've got like seasons 2 through 10 of their DVDs, and I go through
So the good ones.
The good ones, and then about 4 bad seasons too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. When did they not? Are they still good? Are they not? I haven't watched
Actually,
for years.
The weird thing about them is it was one of the best shows on television and then became so bad. Just so bad, because what happened with it is what happens with so many other TV shows that are so good. It's that the original writers leave, and then the new writers that they have, who are also still good, they now leave. And so the new writers they get on are just people who were such big fans of the show that they don't actually write episodes. They just write fanfic, and bad fanfic at that. It's, you know, it's like the inmates are running the asylum, basically. And Dana Gould has come on in the past few years, who is a great stand-up comic. And I think that he kind of realized that was what was wrong with it, because, you know, I stopped watching The Simpsons maybe in like season 13, which was at least 5 years after I should have stopped watching them. Actually, season 8 was pretty good. So like 4 seasons after I should have stopped watching them. And every now and again I would check back in and the episodes would just be terrible. But then one day I just saw like an entire season on Hulu that I had not watched yet. And I said, you know what, let me check and see if it's still bad. And it's not anywhere near the quality that was. But it's actually, like, I was genuinely laughing at it. And it was not, you know, and like, a lot of the flaws that the previous seasons had aren't there. I mean, it's still not a really good show. But it's a fairly decent show now. Like, it's an enjoyable show now.
Alright.
But yeah.
Do the Treehouse of Horrors, do they, like, stay in that same category? Like, do they fit along with it?
They kind of do go along with it. I haven't seen this year's one, but out of the last few ones that they've had, the problem is that they've kind of just run out of ideas of stuff to do, which I think is bogus, because I mean there's never an end to, you know, things that you can spoof, things you can parody, but they've just stopped doing anything Halloween related at all, and they just decided to do like a science fiction thing now, which is weird. But yeah, like, I've seen a couple in years past that I enjoyed. One where, like, Homer had to murder someone in order for God to not kill him. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it ended up just turning into Homer just on a big motorcycle race to get away from God. It was, and yeah, it's weird stuff like that every now and again they do that is so good. And the Treehouse of Horrors, yeah, they're still worth a watch now. Once again, not great, but yeah. Every year I go through seasons 2 through 10, which are the first 9 Treehouse of Horrors, since they didn't begin until season 2. Yay, geeked them. Alright,
Yeah, now it seems like regular show is doing something
regular
similar,
show,
so.
yeah. For anybody who
Oh,
watches
dude, that regular show special where they told stories is amazing.
Oh yeah, and they did that again this year. They now did regular show.
Again.
Anybody who watches Cartoon Network, they now do the three short horror themed stories. But yeah, I absolutely love those Simpsons ones. Anybody who's seen them, feel free to shout out your favorites. But
yeah, well, what's the best Treehouse of Horror one?
To me, I might have to go with The Shinning.
Is that the one with?
That's a good one.
Is that Willie? And
that was the one where Willie kept dying every single step in every single one of the little episodes. Oh shoot, there was another one that I absolutely love. Attack of the 50-Foot Eyesores. I absolutely love that one. The one where Homer steals the donut from the Lard Lad giant donut thing.
Yeah.
That one, yeah, and then lightning brings them all to life. And I listened to these with the director commentary as well, and the great thing about that episode was that John Swartzwelder, my favorite Simpson writer, he wrote that particular little short, and he used to work in an advertising agency, and apparently the name of the fake advertising agency that they use in there, where all the evil monsters are coming from, is the actual one he used to work for. So I just love listening to stuff like that in commentaries. But yeah, The Shining, I absolutely love. The 54 Eyesores. Anybody else have a favorite they want to show up?
Was the one?
Yeah.
Was the one where Homer goes like into the weird video game? I don't know how to say where. It's
that one.
Homer Cubed. I love that one.
That was it. Okay, that's why I couldn't remember if that was a Treehouse of Horrors. That was
a good one.
That's I think my favorite.
There's so many good lines when they're trying to figure out what how to get Homer out. I love when Professor it's been so many years since I've seen him. Not Farnsworth. I keep wanting to say Farnsworth, but
Frank.
Yeah, Professor Frank is going, here is a regular square, but if we extend it into the third dimension, whoa, slow down, egghead. That's something that I quote on a regular basis. I still love that. That and there could be cubes in there the size of gorillas. I love that. Anyone else have a favorite?
I got 3.
Go for it.
Wait, so I can't remember. It might have been The Shining. I can't remember. The one where there's... I think Homer kills Flanders and all the writing happens on the wall. Which one's that?
Oh, no, that was, I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think it was. Is that the one where Flanders turns into a werewolf at the end?
Yes.
Yeah, that was like one of my last... that was like one of the last ones I thought was really good before it started to go downhill.
Same, I really like... I think the one... Because I was a bit younger, kind of tad younger than you, like, this actually really scared me, like... And was the reason I didn't watch many Treehouse of Horror ones, was the one where they redid... I can't remember what the name of the series now. Nightmare on Elm Street with Groundskeeper Willie.
Oh, yeah!
Terrifying as a child. That is such a good episode. But I think my favourite one is The Raven, for some reason.
That one is really good on, like, an artsy level. Like, the fact that they went... they didn't really go for jokes in that one. They actually went... No, we're
just
going to do
The Raven.
The Raven.
It's actually just quality.
With, who was doing the narration on that?
James L.
Jones, yes. But yeah, that episode had so much quality to it. That was impressive. That was their very first Treehouse of Horror. So yeah, that was back when when Fox was just like, you know what, you're not getting that good of ratings, but you're still around, so just do whatever you want. And they decided to just go and, you know what, we're just gonna do something serious. And yeah, I love when stuff like that happens.
My favorite was when Homer traded his soul for a donut.
Oh! Can't believe I forgot that one. That is so good.
That
Homer
is
and the devil. And the devil turns out to be Ned Flanders. It's always the last person you suspect. I love that. Forbidden donut. And that episode has so much great heart in it, too. Mm-hmm. I mean, just like, that's one of those episodes where you can freeze frame on, like, every single bit and see, like, how much good stuff they did. I need to do a Simpsons episode now that I think about it. Anyway, anybody else got any favorite things they like to watch around Halloween?
Well, the last few years, my wife does not, when we were dating, she doesn't like horror movies at all, but I kind of started forcing her to watch them in October, because I'm like, you need to watch these. So we kind of started with, the classics and watched some other ones. So we usually pick like 3 movies to watch on Halloween night. It's varied from year to year, and quality as well. One year I think we watched like Psycho and Rosemary's Baby, and that's not a very good movie. I did not like it.
You don't think Rosemary's Baby is a good movie? Or Psycho?
No, Psycho's great. Christian Bale, that man is nuts. But yeah, Rosemary's Baby. No, I don't know.
Did you mean American Psycho?
Oh, yes, American Psycho.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say.
Wait, Christian Bale
Bale is a great actor, and that dude can lose weight and transform into any role, but he must have been 2 when that movie came out, so that is some acting for his act.
Right. No, yes,
Man,
American
the special
Psycho.
effects
I'm sorry.
Are amazing.
Yeah.
Christian Bale was the knife.
Psycho is a great horror film, because that's one of those ones in which even when you know what's coming and you've seen it before, the shower scene still makes you tense.
Yeah, that actually is one scary movie that I will watch. So if that says something too, then it's good enough that it'll make me watch it. I'll go through the scary.
It's the cinematography that really brings out the horror and the scariness of it all. So that's really amazing stuff right there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying about Innkeepers 2 weeks ago. That you need to know how to like frame the horror. And so many people now in horror films, they just throw it at the screen.
Yeah.
You got to know how to raise that tension, and cinematography is how you do
And
it.
especially with a 3D where you literally can throw everything at the screen.
I don't think are there any 3D horror films?
I don't know, but it wouldn't.
Well, Saw
Oh god,
3D.
the Saw
yet.
films did.
Yeah,
My Bloody
Final
Valentine.
Destination 3D. Yeah, My Bloody Valentine.
Oh god.
Aren't they
love-
redoing a Halloween 3D too?
You mean Mike
well,
Myers
Texas
Halloween?
Chainsaw Massacres.
Or that's it,
Texas Chainsaw
yeah.
Massacre, yeah.
Oh, I was hoping it was going to be called Halo 3DN. That's what I was hoping they would do.
How we 3D? How would you pronounce that? How
I
3D?
don't know.
Something tells me that anyone who would go to watch that would have no problem getting that out. But yeah, Rosemary's Baby. You don't think that's a good movie?
No, I don't know. Like, and granted, I did see it a few years ago. Maybe my opinion would change. I just thought, it was slow but boring. Like, it didn't build up to much for me personally. Whereas, like something like, I don't know, The Exorcist. It's got the slow. It's kind of slow, but it builds up to something. Like that film is still kind of scary, and yeah, I just was not a fan. I don't know.
Yeah, I have not seen it. I hate admitting this, but I even own that, and I have not seen it. So, I should see it before Halloween this year. That would be my goal.
Yeah.
I will see that movie that Mike is telling me I should not see.
Right.
Well, great. Anybody
Yeah.
else have anything that they want to throw out before we end this segment?
Hocus Pocus.
You
watch
have
Hocus-
to bring up Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah.
I've noticed, like, all over the internet, people have just suddenly been throwing that up all over the place, and I'm wondering, do they do that every Halloween? I just haven't noticed it, or is it, like, suffering some kind of a resurgence, or...
I don't know. I would watch it like all the time when I was little, and then I found the DVD like in like a bargain, and it's like I must have this, and it's like.
I remember watching that when I was a kid, and I don't know, it just wasn't doing anything for me, but except for, like, one scene, and I can't remember what it was. I think, I don't even remember what it was, but I remember there was, like, one thing that really freaked me out in that film when I was a kid. I don't remember what, though.
It's not meant to be scary.
I know,
but it
yeah,
is
I know it's
fun.
not meant to be,
It's
yeah.
fun. I liked it. I actually thought the effects are pretty good for back then and everything. So.
But yes. Alright, so Hocus Pocus, that's what we're going out on.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Wait, no, can I go out on one more? My one
Oh, go, yeah.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Not movie. I was going to say my TV episode that I happened to watch recently that I have to go on is The Office Halloween. The first Office Halloween episode.
Oh,
one
I
of my
haven't seen that one.
It's so good. It's like, first of all, if you need a costume, it's like the best. Jim has the best costumes ever. Just see 3-hole punch Jim. But it is so because as when The Office was good, I think it was second season or something like that. And when The Office was good, it was just like, this is what Halloween in an office is. And last year, actually, here we had people dressed up in Halloween costumes, and I actually felt like I was watching The Office when I walked into work that day. So it kind of had a special place in my heart.
Oh,
So if you haven't seen it, watch it, because I think it's actually called Halloween. It's really good.
cool. Alright, so everybody come back, and we are going to, after this quick little musical interlude, going to talk about our favorite horror films. And Stacey is not going to be around for that, so everybody say thank you, Stacey. It was great having you on.
Thank you, Stacey.
Thanks, Stacey.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. It was fun. Hopefully I will be back again soon.
We would love to have you anytime you want.
Now we honor the Necronomicon. Now we honor the Necronomicon. Now we honor the Necronomicon. Now we honor the Necronomicon.
Now we honor the Necronomicon with our very own special dance! How the hell do demons do their very own special dance? In hell we dance our own special way. Let's show them how we dance while our bodies decay.
Do we bounce like Backstreet?
Not without a heartbeat. Do we grab like Michael Bibbins? Bill Bibbs of all before the living.
Do we roll like Tag Team?
Welcome back to this spooktacular episode of Screened Pupcast.
More like Screened Pupcast.
Boom!
Oh, and we're sad.
Hey, you said
anyway.
Spooktacular.
I said spooktacular is, never mind. Fair enough. Okay.
Think of the puppies.
Think of the puppies.
Think of them, Aaron. What? You have murdered these puppies. These puppies are dead. Their blood is on your hands.
Rory's
They will
coming
never-
after you.
They will never woof again.
Someone's writing this down, alright? Because I think that we can make a cool mint of this horror picture we're brainstorming right now. Alright.
I'm just seeing a puppy howling at the sky with your face in the moon.
Oh my god, we got our title card for this episode.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, welcome back to part 3. Stacey had to go, as I said, and Kevin is having internet troubles, so he might come back, who knows. But in the meantime, we still have Jackson, we still have Mike, and we still have Michelle. I'm still Aaron, as opposed to every other episode where I change. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a shapeshifter.
But yeah, anyway, now we're going to get into our favorite horror films. Just, talking about, any that have personally touched us, any that, we always love. Anybody want to start off? What is your favorite horror film?
Because I don't really watch horror films, it's Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is a good horror film.
Oh yeah, no, it's the best zombie movie ever made.
Yeah, I mean, there's that great point. There are some legitimately scary points in there. I mean, like when they're in the bar and they flip the lights on. That freaked me out.
Yeah, it works on the zombie level.
Yeah, and
It's a great film.
And it does a great critique, or send-up would be the best way to say it. A great send-up of the zombie films without being like, without being like a flat-out parody. Because it's not a parody, it's just a send-up. It's like just commenting on, this is what things would be like in a zombie apocalypse, but the humorous side of it. The humorous side of the apocalypse, which I think is their next film.
Yeah, it is.
It is their next film, yeah.
Ha! Before he makes Ant-Man,
Before he makes Ant-Man, 2015.
which we talked about earlier.
Oh, so that was on the last week's episode?
No, the news.
Oh, yes.
Do you not remember?
I remember that. Yes. This is all done very calculated and professionally.
This is all done in chronological order. We're totally doing this in order. Yep.
So yeah, Shaun of the Dead is really amazing. The way they just kind of take both the standard romantic comedy scenes and put zombies in them, and the standard zombie scenes and put real life into them is so like the record collection scene.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mike, you even asked ahead of time if we were going to be doing a horror film episode. You've got to have something that you love, yeah.
The Exorcist, that's probably up there. I actually did not see that until I was in college. I always kept hearing from, because my parents saw it, when they must have been, in their late teens when the film came out, and it was a big, causing mass hysteria then, and they're like, yeah, it's so scary, I'm never watching that film again. I'm like, I have to see what this is all about. And, yeah, it still works, with the spider crawling the head and the
That is
split pea
one of the
vomit.
freakiest scenes of any movie,
Oh.
in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. And
Wasn't even in the original cut, either.
no, it wasn't. No, I that's the cut I saw when I first saw it was with the spider crawl, the extended. So yeah, that stuff was freaky as hell. And, the sequels and prequels have been pretty crappy.
I heard 3 actually has some good moments in it. I haven't seen it, but people have told me 3 actually has some decent moments.
It's been so long since I've seen that one. And the most disappointing thing that I found with the whole Exorcist series itself was the prequels, because there's 2 prequels. They're basically the same film. So, do you guys know the backstory to that?
No, I don't. What's the backstory?
So, I think it was, what's that guy's name? Rennie Harlan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he set out and was he was directing it. They had the same cast, crew. They completed the film, and when they submitted it to the studio, they're like, this is not scary enough. It was more like a psychological horror. And so they brought in a brand new director and brand new scriptwriter and said, redo this, make it more scary, quote unquote. And so they released that in theaters. That bombed terribly, and so they've released the second one in theaters as well. I mean, they were all both limited runs. I've seen both versions, and it's just kind of interesting to see. It's like the same exact story. You know, the film was, I'm pretty sure they remained basically back to back. You know, different directors, how their take on it, you know, or how the studio wanted it, I guess, is kind of interesting how they portray Father Merrin's character when he is younger, working in Africa. You know, supposedly when, you know, Pazuzu was first discovered and all this stuff.
In what film do they actually say the demon's name? Because I always knew that his name was Pazuzu, but I know they didn't say it in the first one.
No, I think they did say it in the first one. It's in the very beginning when they're in Iraq.
I must have
and that little. Yeah, the little kid brings the statue to Father Merrin, and, you know, they make some brief mention to it then. But, you know, both prequels are still kind of bad. I would actually like to see a studio do, like, a good prequel, because, like, the whole thing, you know, with the original Exorcist is that, you know, Father Merrin, you know, he had this, you know, big traumatic experience, you know, when he first dealt with Pazuzu, and he just, you know, it basically kind of forced him to a retirement, or, you know, a recluse, and neither film really captures that, you know, what would make him be like, oh, this is, you know, such a terrible battle with the demon, and I guess that's kind of really the most disappointing part about it. I'd like to see it done again, but, you know, we'll see. Other than that, I like Nosferatu. It's kind of like
that's good.
Yeah. So I saw that in college for the first time. I took a German cinema class, and, you know, I didn't even know that it existed. You know, the whole Stoker family, you know, sued the, you know, company, the studio, and all the copies were supposed to be destroyed or not. But it's kind of, I mean, if you're looking at it's today's standards for horror, it's not. I don't think it necessarily holds up to that, but I think if you put yourself, you know, in, you know, the 1920s, seeing this film, you know, it's pretty damn terrifying. You know,
absolutely, yeah. I mean,
you know,
you're right. It doesn't really. It's not scary now. But I still remember getting freaked out by that moment where he, like, lifts himself up out of the caskets.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's practical effects at their best in that early age for horror.
Yeah, definitely. And when they had the whole the scene with the carriage taking crap, what's the guy's name? It's not Jonathan Harker. They call him something else. But basically, when, you know, they're taking him to the castle, and then it, you know, flips to that negative image, you know, and that the music changes and it kind of speeds up a bit. You know, I just thought, like, wow, this is like very early cinema. And I mean, it's not very technical by today's standards, but, you know, then it's like, holy crap, what is this? You know, pretty freaky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I guess those are near my top. You know, Halloween's good. I have a soft spot for Paranormal Activity. I know a lot of people kind of...
I actually was hoping someone would bring up Paranormal Activity, because I wanted to ask you guys what you think about the found footage phenomenon that's going on. But yeah, we're going to save that a little of the discussion for the VHS review. But yeah, Paranormal Activity, I got to admit, you know, my brief, quick review of Paranormal Activity, hated the characters. I wanted that demon to kill the guy. I hated that douchebag. I think the writing, if there is any, is pretty bad, and I think only about half the scares really work. However, the half that work, they worked on me. I gotta say, I really was digging the last half of that film.
Oh, definitely, yeah. That's definitely when it, became the best.
Yeah, and what makes that film work is pacing. It's that every single time that you see it get to that shot of the bedroom, you know something's going to happen. Otherwise, it would not be showing you this shot. And every single time, whatever happens is worse than the last thing that happened. And that's why the scares work so well in the second half of it, because your mind knows at that point, every time it shows you this, something's going to happen and it's going to be worse than whatever the last thing was that you just saw. So your mind, before anything happens, starts playing those tricks on you, which that's what horror films should do more of, and they don't.
Right.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I really didn't care that much for Paranormal Activity 2, because there would be multiple times in that film where it would show you that shot of the crib and there'd be nothing happening. And I would think, well, now you've just totally thrown the whole sequence out of whack.
So
I think the found footage technique does work well for like horror because it's like you're there and it's like, hey, what is that noise? And you like try and like find try and record it, but it never seems to you never get the right timing.
It's not the right timing and it's not the right shot. Holy jeez, my nose is stuffing up something fierce right now. Sorry. But it's also it's a combination of two other things. It's you don't get the right shot, and because of that, it looks more like a natural view of what's going on rather than in a horror film where it would be framed perfectly on whatever is supposed to be scary. It can be more that, oh, what just happened there in the background? It's like those internet memes where you're trying to look at something and it's like you stare at it long enough and something kind of appears far off in the background. And you go, oh shit, look at that. But the other thing is, we were talking about this with Children and Men. One of the reasons that movie is so emotional is long shots cause immersion. So when a found footage film isn't just some guy running and the camera's wobbling all over the place, and it's actually more steady, you get more immersed in the moment that's happening there. Plus, also, found footage films just kind of shocked people when they first came out because, the footage has to be found, meaning it's not going to be a good ending. Nobody walked away from the Blair Witch Project. Nobody walked away from any of those other early found footage films because the footage had to be found. It's in the title. Although now I think that's kind of working against it, because now not everyone is walking away from this. Although,
I kind of feel like nowadays they kind of abuse the found footage.
Nowadays it's totally just a technique because it's hey, we can make this horror film for only $20,000, and because we don't have to worry about setting up tracks, we don't have to worry about anything like that. In fact, Chernobyl Diaries, which came out earlier this year, which is absolute garbage, that's not a found footage film, but they shot it handheld the whole way to get that found footage look. Because they just went, well, yeah, it's not a found footage film, but this way we don't have to pay for tracks on the ground, we don't have to pay for cameras that can move, and it's incredibly, it's just such a cheat is all it is.
Yeah. And I don't know that the found footage works as well as it did, like, say when Blair Witch Project came out, because, that was back in 99?
Yeah.
And people seriously thought, like, the internet was not a big thing then. There wasn't social
Very
media,
true,
all this other stuff.
I know where you're going with
so it made it a lot more believable.
I thought it was real myself when I was watching it as a kid. I thought that was real.
Yeah, and there's this other, it's kind of like a found footage film that came out in the 70s called Cannibal Holocaust. Have you seen that?
Yeah, that's on my Netflix queue. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking,
Yeah, so they, without spoiling things, the government actually got involved because of what happened in that film, because no one knows, what stuff's real, was this really fake or not. It's good. Yeah, you should definitely check it out.
Cool. Let's see. One of my favorite horror films is, and I wanted to bring this up when you mentioned prequels, nobody doing a good Exorcist prequel. I really dig The Shining, and they're now actually talking about doing a Shining prequel, which I'm just wondering what would that be.
Would it be called The Dawning?
I've heard so many people not even joke about that, but say that seriously. That's what people are seriously thinking about calling it.
Well, yeah, because you say that as a joke, and then you wait, what if we did?
Yeah,
call it
exactly. I guarantee you that's what's going around in the
a,
offices.
a marketing person high five when he came up with that.
Exactly. There was a bunch of studio execs sitting around going, "Oh, what are we gonna call this? The Dawning?" Hey. Yeah. Actually, more likely it was the coffee guy who came in and made that joke, and then they all just went, "Get out of here! You're fired. Let's take his idea." But yeah, I really dig The Shining. Anything that is set in, to me, anything that is set in a place where you can't escape. That's what always kind of worries me. Like, I was never afraid of, like, Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees or, I was about to say Freddy Krueger, but you can't really escape Freddy Krueger. But, like, Michael Myers or any other psycho with a knife never really scared me because I can run from that guy. I can run, I can, find some way to get away. But, you set me in a place where you can't get away. Like in The Shining, it's up in that cabin. You can't leave that hotel because otherwise you'll freeze to death out in the winter. Or like The Evil Dead. You're set in The Evil Dead, I've talked about this before, but very few films make me as passionate as The Evil Dead does about filmmaking. Because, yeah, that was just a bunch of dumb college kids going into the woods, and it was like, oh man, we need to figure out a way to get this camera to go through the window. And Sam Raimi just went, give me a hammer and some wood, and he just built something for the camera to go through the window on, and I always find that amazing. But yeah, those kind of films freak me out because, yeah, once again, Evil Dead, stuck up into this cabin, can't get out. In fact, in the second one, they even show you what happens when he tries to get out in the middle of the day when the woods are not keeping him in there. They've destroyed the bridge. It's that little tiny miniature claw curling up at him. What are the ones? Anything that's set in the woods really kind of freaks me out because
what about in the ocean? Jaws.
Jaws just don't go in the fucking water. That's just being dumbasses.
Well, you can
Every
see the
time
same
they
thing about
go
the
in the
woods.
water.
Don't go into the fucking woods.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like they know there's a shark in there at that point. You go in the woods, and it's like you don't go into the woods knowing there's a demon in there. It's not until afterwards, and then it's like, oh shit, we're in the woods now already. We can't get out. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, with Jaws, it's like, yeah, the first person, oh, they're fucked. Second person, what the fuck are you doing going back in the woods, crazy white people? But yeah, God, I'm so fucking stuffed up. Anyway,
there's a demon in your nose.
there's a booger demon, yes. Which I think is one of the personas you can summon.
Just by picking your nose.
Yeah. But yeah, anything set in the woods always kind of freaks me out. Because when I was a kid, my mom lived in the suburbs, and my dad lived deep in the woods. And I mean like a mile drive on a dirt road before you could even get to the house, just through the forest. So I remember I watched the Blair Witch Project over at my mom's place, and I just thought, that's not that scary at all. And then like the next week I went over to my dad's place, and I was like, that is a terrifying film. Like my memories of that film were keeping me up at night. Speaking of things in the woods,
Cabin in the Woods, guys.
Boom.
I love Cabin in the Woods.
Segue, perfect.
There you go.
Just like, because you were talking about the bit where they can't leave, and there's that genius scene in Cabin in the Woods where
Oh God, I know the scene.
No, they can. They have to choose to go in there, and then they like fucking juxtapose that with him being on speakerphone, which is one of the best gags in the history of time, because Bradley and Citizen are just some of the best characters ever.
They were so good. We have to dedicate like the next at least 10 minutes to talking about Cabin in the Woods, because that to me did to horror films what Unforgiven did for westerns. It might as well be entitled The Last Horror Film. But yeah, Cabin in the Woods, it took, by the way, massive spoilers for Cabin in the Woods coming up.
Oh yeah, we're about to spoil the fuck out of this.
Oh god, yes.
You can't really talk about it without spoiling
Exactly.
So many people,
go ahead.
I mean, they couldn't even show a trailer of that thing without spoiling the big surprise in, because this big surprise happens 10 minutes into the film. It opens with the big surprise.
Well, no, there is another bigger surprise, which my dad spoiled for me, because my dad is a bastard.
Oh, what?
He likes to spoil.
Oh, Jesus. What?
He spoiled Serenity, and then he spoiled this.
Oh.
I know. Because he told me the quote from the end of the film. Oh yeah, there's one really funny bit where Topher's there and he's going, "Oh, so I could unleash evil. I could kill everyone in the universe, or I could kill my friend. Not liking either of those two options right now." And that's like one of his last lines. Well, at some point there's going to be an evil, but even regardless of that, it's still, even if you do know what happened, it's still
because
such a good film because of the characters.
I remember I was watching it and just going, man, I'm so liking this on every single level. I really am. I can't really find anything that I don't like about this, but I can't quite give it that perfect score yet. I can't give it my highest score.
Is it the ending?
Just simply because it hasn't given me that jaw-dropping moment yet. And then they and then they go down in that elevator, and you see all the cages with all the monsters on. I went, that's it. That's the big moment. That's all I needed. That was what I needed to make a perfect score. And then, just like with the Avengers, the movie paused, turned to me, and went, "Oh, you thought that was the big moment?"
He gets eaten by a merman.
By a merman. A guy gets skewered by a unicorn.
That is an evil molesting tree, not an evil raping tree.
Yeah, you can tell that Joss Whedon is a fan of TV, and especially of The Simpsons, because that is the only other time in which I have seen so many freeze frame jokes in there, or freeze frame just scenes.
Yeah,
like
all the Left 4 Dead characters are in there for no reason.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
They're in the cages. There's like a tank and a witch in the cages and a boomer.
I thought you meant
really?
I thought you meant like the protagonist of Left 4 Dead. Or
No. I mean like the zombies and stuff.
Oh well, that's still really cool. I didn't know that either.
Huh.
There was meant to be a Left 4 Dead expansion based on Cabin in the Woods, but that got destroyed in a delay.
God damn, that would be so amazing.
Where you would fight as the characters through the complex.
Oh, I would kill to fight as the stoner guy.
It would have been the best game ever made.
Oh, just the concept alone already puts it in the top 10. Oh my god, now I'm sad that doesn't exist. Yeah, Cabin in the Woods, for anybody who hasn't seen it, go see it. But for anybody who has seen it and is sitting there with someone who doesn't want to see it, and hasn't been able to convince them to see it, then it is a film about a couple of college kids. They go to a cabin in the woods. Seems fairly simple. Seems like the setup for every other horror film out there. Except that it turns out that every horror film you have ever seen has been caused by a secret government organization which controls all these monsters and has to force these kids to go in there and choose a monster that will kill them. And it's all leads up to being part of a big sacrifice. They have to sacrifice off, the whore, the jester, the athlete, the scholar, and the virgin has to be last, but they have to be optional. And they have to do that to appease these ancient gods and keep them from killing and destroying the earth. And I mean, I knew a little bit about that spoiler going into it. Like, I knew, okay, it's a secret government organization. They're the ones doing that to these kids. I didn't know, the depths they were going to go to in it. It is insanely impressive. But yeah, this is a Joss Whedon film, and it's got that great sense of humor to it. And also, it's got some, genuinely, this is a geek film. This is totally a geek film, because this is a film made for the people who go and see all these movies and then kind of form their own little fantasies in their head, or their own little side stories in their head, and just think about all the stuff that you don't see in there. That's why I feel like this movie is made so perfect for, people on the Screened community.
Yeah, I because I don't really like horror films, or just mainly just because the whole bit in the non-cabin part was so good. Every time it cut back to the cabin, I was like, I don't care. I just want to see these two office people make jokes for the rest of my entire life. To be honest, I would watch these two forever, because there's a bit where they think they've won, and he's just like, yeah, I'm ready. Tequila is my lady. Tequila. It's just one of the it's such a perfect scene, and it's such a brilliant film. And can we talk about the ending now, which is the bit that breaks it for some people?
Yeah.
Okay, because that really go away now if you haven't seen it. Seriously.
All right, they're gone.
They're gone.
Good, they've gone. Because, okay, so at the end, you get Sigourney Weaver coming up the steps, and then it's either kill one person or kill everyone. And lots of people didn't like the fact that the whole movie ends with the apocalypse.
Yeah. That's... Which, on some level, I absolutely love, simply because so many successful horror films end up getting destroyed by having the studio come back and go, that was great. Let's make 9 more of them. Yeah, this film, I remember there was somebody who actually asked at, like, a screening of it at, like, Fantastic Fest, like one of the first places that ever actually aired. Someone actually asked, so is there going to be a sequel? And the director just went, did you not see the end of the movie? They Journey to the Center of the Planet of the Apes, that one. That, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, that's what it was, yeah. They Beneath the Planet of the Apes, that ending.
I think it works more on like a meta level than an actual level.
Yeah.
Because when you realise that, okay, so the Ancient Ones are actually us watching horror films, and this is all representing this is all their commentary, and you can see how it thematically works, but in the moment you're like, I don't really know if they would actually die smoking a joint whilst the giant hand crushes them.
I don't know, I could kind of buy it, because I could buy like how what's her name, the girl was ready to kill him, and he was the one who was, because he is like an anarchist, he's the one who's like, yeah, we need to just hit the big reset button and start all over again, so I understand him being behind it. And she was ready to kill him, except that like, I can kind of see, like, after she gets bit by the werewolf, her just kind of going, you know what, fuck it, because after you get bit by a werewolf, I can't really see somebody not kind of having the, you know what, fuck this kind of attitude.
True.
That's true.
No, I still don't know if I could wake up one day and I think it's the best ending ever, and I can wake up another day and go,
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But I'm still thinking about it because it was that good.
I kept going back and forth on it myself, and honestly, I normally never ever do this, but someone was telling me their theory for what they would like to have seen happen at the end of it. And after I heard it, I went, God damn it.
What do you mean we never ever do this? We did this for the
No,
entire Dark Knight Rises.
That's not what I do. Someone was telling me their theory of how it should go, and I went, oh yeah. And normally I'll hear how somebody thinks it should have gone, and it doesn't like have any impact on the movie itself for me. But I will think, oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. But they told me their theory on what it should have been, and I actually went, oh fuck that. I actually would have rather have seen that. Like, their theory was that the werewolf was going to kill her, and then it was going to reveal that the stoner is a virgin.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, so as soon as I heard that theory, I went,
the virgin.
Oh fuck, I do wish it had been that.
That's the bit in my head. I was like, I thought it was going to go that direction, because, come on. And the stoner is clearly, apart from the two guys in the office, he's a standout.
Oh, he's fantastic. That's the thing, is that in any other film that I see a stoner character like that, I hate them so much. Love this guy.
He's so cool. A man see a guy driving with a bong in his mouth, they know to stay away.
Because they know that he sees past them. I remember when I was watching that in the theater, the moment that he takes his bong and turns it into the collapsible thermos, the entire audience went, oh, like all of them were taking mental notes on it.
Was there been a increase in the thermos bongs in New York City?
I wondered about that myself. I haven't been to the Village recently, so I should go and check. But
that's the best side effect of Cabin in the Woods, if it really has led to like pot smokers walking around with thermos bongs on the subway, just like that'd be pretty great. Watch Cabin in the Woods. It's so good. It's
amazing. It's a great film for anybody who is just a cinema geek. Does not have to be a horror fan. But yeah, let's see. So, any other favorite horror films anybody wants to throw out?
Not necessarily a favorite, but one that really freaked me the fuck out when I was a little kid, and I knew I shouldn't have been watching it, was Child's Play.
Oh my god.
Oh god, that's... Oh,
yeah, I think any little kid would be terrified by that.
Oh,
I think the thing is, After seeing like a trailer for Child's Play, I saw a commercial for Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh,
So I was like, holy shit, these toys really can come to life and they're gonna kill me in my sleep.
Right.
I'm Teddy Ruxpin, and I'm going to kill you.
Oh!
We have the technology. No!
Oh my god, that would have...
But-
Oh,
Oh, God. Yeah. And I only saw, 2 minutes of it, but it was like, I don't even remember. I think he put, a bag over some guy's head and was, choking him to death. And I'm like, oh my god, I turned the TV off. I'm like, I'm so scared. I don't want to go to sleep.
I remember the scene that I saw was when he was actually trying to steal the kid's soul, and, just, this big temple thing was rising up under the kid, and something's like, holy shit! Oh,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, so Child's Play is definitely a stay away for little kids.
Yes.
Right. Maybe not the newer ones. I never saw
Oh,
them, but they
yeah,
just
that's
looked...
almost a shame to me that,
Yeah.
now he's such a joke.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder if, what a remake of Child's Play would be like today. Like, what sort of toy for little kids would be turned into, like...
A killer Pokemon or something? Or...
I would call it Tamagotchi Evil.
No, wait! Furbies. Night of the Living Furbies.
Wouldn't it be kind of like Gremlins, though?
Oh, Gremlins, great one.
Nice. But that's more of a Christmas movie, but...
That's it. That, Die Hard, and Lethal Weapon are the greatest Christmas movies ever. That actually reminds me of, what was it, The Howling? I don't know why bringing up Furbies made me think of The Howling, but yeah, I've always dug werewolves, and that is, in my opinion, the best werewolf film out there. It's werewolves that don't just look like really hairy dudes, but actually look like wolves on two legs. Which that's another franchise that got so weird with the sequels. Like they got cybernetic werewolves and shit.
Then they had
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Hold on, someone just said cybernetic werewolves. Are you dismissing that? That is amazing.
Another great band name.
Yeah.
Then they did where Tasmanian wolves, werewolves.
Oh shit! Yeah, they went to Australia in one of the episodes. Yeah,
Which is absolutely ridiculous.
not episodes, but movies. Yeah,
That's ridiculous because, Tasmanian wolves are not really wolves, they're marsupials. There's, no connection whatsoever.
they kill you and store your head in their pouch. Australia has got some weird ass horror films, actually, like Razorback and
Australia is nothing but a horror movie. Have you seen the animals that live there? They're all full of venom and poison, and every one of them is you have 3 foot long, tall spiders and shit.
It's weird. I'm freaked out by spiders, but I have never seen a spider movie that's actually really scared me. I don't know why. Although the trailers for arachnophobia freaked me out when I was a kid.
8-legged freaks.
I refuse to be afraid of anything with David Arquette in it. I don't know why, but that one actually made me think of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's another one that if you're a kid, do not watch.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell is the point of clowns in the first place? They annoy adults and they scare children. I've never figured out what the demographic for clowns is. But yeah.
Well, there was It.
Oh God!
Oh, yeah.
It. Yes.
I was wondering if someone was going to bring that up.
That's a good one. What are some other great Stephen King ones? We have The Shining. We have It. Carrie.
Yeah,
the
that's
original
another one.
Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mist is...
I dig
I
The
don't
Mist
know.
because once again, it's that idea of you can't leave. It's that kind of it just hit that note for me. What do you think of the end of The Mist? Because I know that in the book it's totally different.
Okay, yes, I have not read the book, but it's just so goddamn depressing.
The ending,
I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
I mean, you had 3 bullets.
The
and,
ending. Oh man, I just jaw literally dropped. That is how effective that ending is. But not really effective in oh wow, that's so powerful, but effective in a fuck you for doing that to me. How dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
That is a depressing ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, The Mist is another one I have and I actually like. I actually have my collection over there. I should actually probably be turning and looking at it. But I'm also a big fan of zombies, and how have we not mentioned any of the George Romero films yet?
Yeah, Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead still freaks me out. I remember I saw it, like, a theater was actually showing it, like 2 or 3 Halloweens ago, and I remember leaving it, and, like, leaving it, and the sun had gone down at that point, and it was one of those films that just filled you with a great, like, it made you feel almost like you had just lived the movie. But yeah, also, man, I still, to this day, love the original Night of the Living Dead. Which is weird, because what got me to love zombies was the remake of Night of the Living Dead, which I saw when I was a kid, and now I go back and watch that and just go, this is horrible.
I didn't even know they remade it.
They did, and it was horrible, but I mean, it's when you're a kid, you'll like it. Oh,
right.
What was that one? The one that was meant to be kind of like a comedy in the 80s, Return of the Living Dead. That was another one that I watched when I was a kid, and I was like 12, and it was one of the first times I saw a breast in a movie, so I was like, I love this! But that's one that actually, going back and watching it, I still enjoy. And one of the things that when I was a kid actually freaked me out about that movie is that it's about guys who actually live in a world where those zombie films exist. So it starts with guys in a military storage unit where, like, just military failures and stuff just go and, like, sit and rot in the shelves. Like, talking and going, hey, you know those Night of the Living Dead movies? They're real. It's like, no, they're not. Yeah, it actually happened. Here, I'll show you. And, like, they go and they find that there is a zombie just sitting in a, like, tank underneath, and they actually unleash it. And when they unleash it, they go, oh, well, shoot in the head, shoot in the head. They shoot in the head. It still keeps coming. They chop off its head, and the body still keeps coming. And that, I remember, freaking me out when I was a kid, because I just went, fuck, there are no rules. Yeah, but that's the zombie film that has the great line where the zombies are eating the cops, and then the zombie grabs the cop radio and goes, "Send more cops."
Oh, so they can talk too.
Yeah, this is actually the zombie film where brains came from. Anytime you see a zombie saying brains, this Return of the Living Dead is the one that came from.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Not really horror movies, but I do enjoy the original Fright Night and Lost Boys.
Oh, the original Fright Night's good. I like the original Fright Night.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the remake of it, but I heard I heard that's pretty good too. But
Yeah, anybody seen the remake?
No.
I know Doctor Who's in it, apart from
Oh
that.
yeah, David Tennant's in that. Yeah. But yeah, I like the original Fright Night and Lost Boys too. I like the original Lost Boys too. But yeah, so let's see. So we got so those were vampire movies, zombie movies.
Guys,
Huh?
Alien.
Oh.
Yeah.
Before we talk about Alien, should we reinstate Kevin into this thing?
If you want to, we already had him on for an hour and a half long conversation, but
yeah,
Kevin,
Okay.
for like a, no, I mean for like a 2.5 hour long talk about Alien specifically on an episode, but
Oh, I just meant in general.
just in general, reinstate him. You know what? Yeah,
Kevin, are you there?
let's get him back in there.
No, he's apparently he's connected. If I can't hear him,
It
then...
seems like he's connected. Yeah.
You
Seven-
were talking
Screen.
about
Hello.
me. Now I feel
Hey.
so sad.
What?
You were talking about me. Now I feel so sad. You didn't want me here.
I wanted you
Should
on
we-
the show, but yeah, I figured we were like 5 minutes from done, so that's what my idea was. But you know what? All right, tell you what. We were just about to talk about Alien. Great horror film. Once again, for me, it's that idea of you can't leave, but also it's the idea that, you know, the alien is basically the shark of space. It has no other function except to kill.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things that always freaked me out about, but...
I really like the thing. One of my favorite things about it is that you say about films that know how to build up tension. The first 45 minutes, nothing happens.
Yeah!
yes.
But the tension is always there. It's just slowly building until that one moment where, bam, everything kicks off in the craziest way.
Yeah, that is one of
It's
those films
insane.
that I wish I did not know about the movie before going into it. Because, yeah, everybody, the moment it gets to that scene of them sitting there, like, eating and feeling fine, we all know what's going to happen because we have lived in a world that has, you know, spoiled that for us. But I cannot imagine how people in the theaters must have felt watching that moment.
Because at the time, John Hurt was the biggest name, wasn't he? So they were just like, so he'll somehow save the day. Like, no one knew who Sigourney Weaver was.
Well,
So
Tom
the fact that
Skerritt
she
was a big name
survived.
too, and he dies right in the middle of the film.
Yeah. Alien's so good. That bit in the vents.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, and also, yeah, you're right. We have talked about this. Cinematography and, setting up tension. That's how you create really great scares. Alien has amazing cinematography in that film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just the shots of them on the alien planet, that dark and dank atmosphere is so good. Yeah. Alright, you know what? Let's just run through, Kevin, before we do this, what is your favorite horror film? What are some of your favorite horror films?
Have you already talked about 28 Days Later?
No, we haven't.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I rewatched that one yesterday. Because I'll be perfectly honest, I don't really like horror movies. Yeah, it's just like, I'm not really... I can understand like why people would like to watch horror movies, because they like to be scared. I don't really get scared very easily, so the point of a horror movie just isn't really for me. Unless it's like a good story and like good characters. Like, it has to have a good story, and that has to be first and foremost, and then has to be like disturbing. Otherwise, like, I think the better movies are the ones that are more suspenseful, more somewhat disturbing. Like, I think Black Swan. It's not a very scary movie, but it's a very disturbing movie.
Yeah.
I think that I like that way more. And same with like Hitchcock films. But yeah, like 28 Days Later, I haven't seen that movie in about, 6 or 7 years. But that's a really, really good movie. And I think a lot of people don't like it anymore because it sort of made zombies great athletes.
Let's talk about that right now. Which, first off, I thought it was the Dawn of the Dead remake. Did that one come out first?
No,
no.
that was 2004.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
28 Days Later is 2002.
Yeah. Which, I mean, first off, it's not really zombies in 28 Days Later. It's infected people.
It's rage people.
Yeah, it's the rage people. But yeah, so many people say that where does everybody come down on the fence between fast-moving zombies or the slow-moving zombies?
Slow.
Flying
slow
zombies.
Slow is better for scaring people because slow building tension is better than fast building tension. It's a fact.
Well, yeah, but then on the other hand, you haven't, these crazy, fucked up, psycho people just, hightailing it at you, and you have no idea what the hell they're doing. That's pretty scary shit. Anybody just kind of running full speed at you, I'm gonna go, oh, Jesus Christ, what am I gonna do?
Yeah,
it's more fucked up shit than scary shit.
There's two kinds of scares. It's kind of like, there's two different ways to be afraid. Like, if anybody's played Dead Space, anybody here played that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
love that game.
Oh, yeah. When I played the first game, that was a lot of, oh shit, what was that noise? Oh, what was that? Oh, was that something over there? Oh, I thought I saw something. Okay, alright, be calm. Just walk slowly. Oh, what was that noise? And yeah, it was freaking me out. Dead Space 2 also freaked me out, but it freaked me out in the run, just shoot everything, fuck it, I don't care, just get to the exit, run, there's something behind you, keep going, run.
The scariest part of Dead Space 2 is when you go back to the Ishimura.
Oh god, yes.
And the first chapter
that's so good.
Nothing happens. You don't fight a single enemy.
Oh,
it's just perfect. It's
exactly,
perfect
yeah. And I prefer that slow kind of tension, that in the Ishimura scene. Oh god, that's so good.
Because you're fighting so many of the monsters beforehand, and then you get onto the ship and you expect it to continue, but nothing happens.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. But yeah, so I like the kind of tension that was in Dead Space 1 over that kind of just scream and run kind of tension. And I think that's the way that is with zombies, the slow and fast moving zombies. But I can enjoy both kinds of tension.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. With me,
I think
I love
the next thing will be. The next generational step will be flying zombies.
I was just about to say that was the exact worst. But yeah. Which they have already made 3 zombie on planes movies. God damn it. Alright.
But yeah, I think the one thing that makes 28 Days Later such a great zombie movie is that you have to have a good equal measure of zombie goodness, whether it's the kills or just the terror of it, but you also have to have an equal part of good human drama.
Yeah.
And that's what zombie movies necessarily don't really do is that they have sort of like cardboard cutout characters, and you don't really care about them, but it's all about the zombie violence. Like 28 Days Later has empathetic, and it has like empathetic characters and people that are just like interesting, and has like an interesting dynamic of what is like holding over, what you try to keep after a zombie apocalypse, and the stuff that you try to adapt to.
Yeah. Cool.
And I love the scene where, even though it's sort of weird when they're in the shopping market and there's like food everywhere, which is like
Yeah,
sort of
that would not happen, but
yeah, but like when they're
but it's a
all
good
leaving,
scene, I think.
yeah, and I love it when they're all leaving, and then Brendan Gleeson's character leaves his MasterCard at the checkout, and then just keeps going. I just love that small little touch.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's finish up with this. We've talked about zombies. We talked about vampires. Let's see. I touched on werewolves. Let's see. What have we not talked about yet?
Exorcism
Ghosts.
movies.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Yeah, best Frankenstein movie.
Frankenstein.
The original.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I love this version that did not air in theaters, where you actually see like what happens to the little girl. It's actually really freaky. But yeah, so Frankenstein, Ghost, favorite Ghost movie.
The Orphanage.
Ghostbusters.
That is correct.
I will admit, whenever I watch a haunted house movie, I do always at some point like to imagine the Ghostbusters bursting in there and just ending the movie right there.
Oh, that'd be so good if you advertised. If they did make Ghostbusters 3 but didn't advertise it as such, and 10 minutes into the film, the Ghostbusters bust down the door. And then it's a Ghostbusters movie.
Like if they just kept advertising next year,
Yeah.
Paranormal 5, Paranormal 5, you're not going to believe what happens.
That would be a good trailer.
No trailers. You go in.
What if
you
that
think,
really
oh,
does
yes.
happen in the next Paranormal
Yeah, and I mean, like,
Activity
all
movie?
this, and, like, suddenly, like, somebody, they just come in and just zap the demon Toby or whatever it is, lock him up in the cage, and they go, turn that camera off, and then it goes back into a regular Ghostbusters movie.
Bill Murray is
That'd
actually
be
in
the
it.
best.
Bill
that'd
Murray
be
is
so
the
good.
ghost.
What a twist.
No, that was supposed to be one of the proposed scripts, was that Peter Venkman was dead and it was just his ghost.
Oh!
Oh,
Oh!
Oh, come on.
But Art, what's his name, is also dead, so who would do the voice of the ghost? Oh god, what was his name? Art... Or was it something
Spiegel.
music? Or was it something music or something art? I can't remember. Whoever did the voice of...
Ray Parker. You talking about the theme song?
No, the guy who did the voice of Bill Murray's character in the animated series.
Oh. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Something...
Brian
I thought you were
Doyle
talking about
Murphy.
the theme song.
Yeah, something music or something art. I can't remember.
art music.
Art music.
Mr. and Mrs. Music, born of a son, called him Art.
It's short for Artie.
Hello, little Artemis Music.
I'm Scholar Music. This is my wife, Philosophy Music. This is our child, Art Music. Yeah, alright, so Ghost. Let's see. Anything else we have not touched on?
Zombieland.
Huh? J-horror. Oh, good. Yeah, we have not talked about J-horror yet. What's there? Anybody have a favorite J-horror film?
The bit in the middle of Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah, Ringo's pretty good.
Everybody, like, I know so many people who go back and forth on whether or not Ring is best or Ringo is best. Shit, I have to have a favorite J-horror film.
I really haven't seen any, only because I hear they're so freaky, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for this.
They are so weird. Like, I remember I actually took a class on horror films in college. And to show us J-horror, they showed us Suicide Club, which is just about something that causes a bunch of people to start killing themselves. It's almost like like a better version of The Happening.
It's like, I don't think it was a J horror. I think it was like Chinese or something, but it's like House or something, Houseu or something.
Oh, everybody tells me that is freaky as hell. I have not
Yeah,
seen
it's
it.
like, it's not really scary, but it's like, what the fuck is this shit, you know? It's
That sums up J-horror pretty well.
Yeah.
But let's see. Okay, so J-horror. Anything else? Creature from the Black Lagoon movies.
exorcism movies.
We talked about the
Yeah,
Exorcist.
we talked about The
yeah.
Exorcist.
Which
Well, I wasn't here,
I
so-
actually like the last Exorcist. Except
Dominion?
for the ending, but there are theories on what the ending was, and they are valid theories. Like, they could be what actually happened, and if that's the case, then, well, good on them. They didn't totally succeed in conveying that, but, I mean, it's good enough.
What about Constantine?
Constantine is
What about
Constantine is one of
Constantine?
the shittiest comic book adaptations ever, but it's actually still a decent film on its own. Like, if you know nothing about the comic, it's a fairly enjoyable film. At least the last bit of it is, especially the devil. They've got one of the best devils of any movie in there.
It does have a good
Yeah.
devil.
Oh, it was Peter Stormare, right? Or was it Tilda Swinton?
Tilda Swinton was Gabriel, I believe. She was an
Yeah.
angel, so
I think it was Peter Stormare.
yeah.
I think
But she was good in it too. Yeah, Swinton was also good.
she's always good in everything.
She is. It's actually anybody got a favorite devil movie?
Dogma. It is my favourite devil
Yeah,
movie.
that's
It is
valid.
not the scariest.
All right. I
What
think we've
else?
touched on pretty much everything.
Twilight.
Twilight. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking of, for the end of the year, marathoning all the Twilight films.
Best
Oh.
idea ever. Best idea. Go to one of the big screenings of all of them with the proper.
Oh,
audience.
God.
Mercy, you have to do it. Just I don't.
I will if
You'll get
I'm not
something
saying
out
I'll
of
do
that.
it because that would probably cost a shitload, but if I do it, I will film myself doing it, and I will put it on screen. I promise you that.
Oh, I mean, it'd be the
I
best.
will film myself during the little intermissions between each thing, and we will see myself slowly going mad. That will be a found footage film for your ass right there. That right there. Me going
They've
through
already
the
done
Twilight
that,
films.
though.
Huh?
Rory and Alex already
Matt
did
and
that.
Rory did that.
Didn't they do the summary? I thought they just did the summary of the previous Twilight films.
No,
No.
this is one of the first things they did on screen. It was
Yeah.
them in watching the Twilight films in a marathon, and Alex just between them were just like, "Oh God,
damn it! I didn't know that.
Oh
I didn't know
my
they did
God.
Oh.
They literally sparkle.
he didn't believe it. They do. Wow.
that. Oh, I didn't know that they did that. Oh, I don't think I'll do it then, because then there's nothing.
Just go, and as soon as any man appears on screen, just yell at the top of your lungs, "Take your shirt off!" and see what everyone does. Be that guy.
that guy.
Be that guy.
You should do that in every movie you see, though.
Listen, these hostages are being held by the Iranian government. We have to get them out. Take your shirt off, Ben Affleck.
No, you say that to Bryan Cranston.
Right, Cranston. As long as it's not to John Goodman.
Wait, so Zombieland,
Zombieland.
Never
I
talked about that.
love Zombieland.
that's a good one.
That is a film. Oh
Yeah.
God, that was so much fun watching it in theaters.
Getting back to Bill Murray getting shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything else we
Like,
have not?
Bill Murray was a Ghostbuster in that movie, too.
He was.
Yeah, you're right.
Anything else we have not yet talked about? We've done zombies, vampires, werewolves, Frankensteins, ghost, mummies. There hasn't really been a lot of.
Well, there is the mummy.
There's
but
the mummy.
What about like creatures, like monsters or?
Oh, just
creatures.
general monsters.
Yeah, like creatures. and
Like Cloverfield.
yeah,
Well,
Or
actually,
the Relic.
next week the topic is going to be our favorite Halloween, our favorite movie monsters.
so we'll
So,
save it
yeah,
for then.
you guys
then-
want to save
then
it for
save
that?
that.
Yeah, we'll save it for that then. All right, cool. Well,
Well, then that
I
wraps
think
it
that
up.
does wrap it up. All
guys.
right.
Yep.
Great having you guys on.
Yay.
Big thanks to Stacey for coming by. I am Aaron.
I'm like,
Nobody knows the order to do it in. All right.
Who are you people?
Why are you in my house?
I don't know who I am.
Take your shirts off.
You kids with your podcasting. What is it you do these days?
You're podcasting
Get
and your
off
evil
my lawn.
Tamagotchis and. All right.
Tamagotchi evil.
Tamagotchi
actually.
evil. All right. I'm Aaron. That was Mike. This is Jackson.
And I'm Michelle.
I I was kind of pausing
And
for
this is
Jackson
the
to
Screened
say- All right. Kevin's also here. All right. Let's get out of here while we can. All right. Night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright, let's do this like a Tarantino film and go back to the beginning, guys. I'm still recording. But you could really, really cut all this.